for the Pig and the Hen. Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show. It's time now for the Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show. It's time now for the Pig and the Hen. Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show. It's time now for the Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show.
Oh yes, boom chickadee chanka, we are back in your life. It's the Pig and the Hen for the Pig and the Hen Show today, Sunday. Cheeky little bonus show. Hope you're all having a good one. Thank you to everybody that's stopping by and waiting in here already. I can see there's a bunch of you legends, the likes of Griffo Chaz, Stephen Zevon, DT Westy, Manny Slew Flacky, Ian T, Marek Stachowski, Tag Fest, Abbas Hassani, everybody else, thank you so much for stopping by and waiting for the show and being the eager beavers in here right at the start. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all staying safe. Thank you for joining us today. Henry Hotspur, how are you, my friend?
Very well. No, thank you to Griffo Chaz and everybody else that you just mentioned there for sticking around. Obviously, you never know exactly when the Pig and the Hen show's going to start. We're going to try to improve our timekeeping. We will. We'll work on it. It's my fault. I'm pestering the Pig. I'm saying, well, maybe we need to do this. We need to do that with the show. And Pig's there like, well, hang on a second, mate. I need to set this stuff up. We don't have time to mess around right now. So, I mean, we're all to blame. But thank you to you legends for sticking around and waiting for the show to begin. I might be a bit of a melt job today because, again, battery issues. Don't worry, the show will go on. I'll have to go back inside. I'll have to get the charger out. At the moment, I'm down to one Apple charger. We've got an iPad in the house. My wife's got an Apple phone. Like many households out there, and despite the crisis that is occurring in the whole world right now, my individual personal crisis right now is the fact that I've got one Apple charger in the household, kids playing on the devices all day, and it's just a struggle to actually give my phone a full charge. I try to hope that my missus goes to sleep before I do, right? Just so that I can sneakily grab the charger and go to sleep with the peace, knowing that I'm going to have full charge next morning. You know what I mean?
That's absolutely fascinating, Henry. Thank you very much for sharing that there. Yash FC, SV, how you doing? Rachel Man, sorry to just dismiss you like that, Henry. It's a very riveting story about your iPhone charger situation, actually. Sorry about that. Rachel Manchester, Douglas, J Falcon, Alex the Rinconator, how you doing, matey? He says, morning, fellas. It's 9:30 a.m. here. I'm going to make some breakfast while listening. Good call, Alex. Hope you're doing better, mate. Hope you're all good. Lee Davies, who else is in here? Marky Sin says Battery Hen, the Kong Man, Stephen Seven, yeah. Sanjeev Kumar. It's great to have all you bloody legends in here live for the show today. Just to give you a little rundown of what we're going to do on the show today. Hopefully there's going to be a cheeky little bonus question of sin later. There probably will not be the melter of the moment and the nutbag of note and stuff like that. We're going to save that for the proper
We've decided,
Wednesday show.
We had a good chat about this before the show today. Obviously, the show seems to be cropping up more regularly at the moment. We've got more time on our hands. Why not? Why the hell not do a bit more Pig and the Hen? But when it comes to the real show, I mean, I'm not saying this isn't a real show. This is a bonus show, okay? But when it comes to the scheduled Wednesday Pig and the Hen show, that's when you get your full blast of all those segments that we've all grown to love.
Absolutely. So, and later on in the show, we'll be doing a call-in section. So after we've done the cheeky bonus question of sin, we will be doing the phone-in section. So anybody that wants to call into the show, please do. Let us know your thoughts, whatever you want to talk about, football-related or non-football-related. Do get involved. Matt Lewis comments, I'm just about to go off to central London to work. Just thought I'd say what's up. Crikey, well, stay safe out there, Matty Lewis. I've just been out today shopping. And nobody's wearing any masks or anything like that. Just check this out. This is annoying, right? I was very careful when I was out, by the way. But I went to the shop and to the corner shop, and I just bought a couple of items. And then I go up to the counter, and they've got a contactless card reader. And I use my contactless, and it beeps and it says error or some shite. And she's like, "Oh, you have to put it in." I'm like, "Well, do I really have to? Because do you know what I mean? Like,
how much were you spending?
£15, something like that.
Oh,
But
so it's not over the limit of contactless then, because you got
no,
a limit. Haven't you? You can
it
only
wasn't
spend
over
a
the limit
certain
of
amount,
contactless.
yeah?
But the point I'm making is I then had to put my card into the card reader and then push the left numbers. And that's not some shite that I want to be doing right now, mate. So that's a bit piss poor. So anyway, obviously came home, washed my hands and all that business. But yeah, I mean, out and about.
What you need is the gloves, mate. You need them
Yes,
disposable plastic
absolutely.
gloves. So
Absolutely.
anytime some bastard out there wants you to use your hand to do something, it's like 2 seconds, mate. I'm just gonna put I'm gonna get my glove out, right?
Absolutely.
Put your glove on, do your shit, dispose of your glove, job done.
But the point I was just going to make, I don't want to make, just to be clear, we've obviously gone over the coronavirus quite a lot, and it is having massive implications on football. And that's what, generally that's what we're going to talk about. Politically, I think we've talked about our feelings on it and stuff. We don't want to bore people or alienate people that don't want to talk about this shite and that want to escape from this shite right now. I understand. I'm the same. I've had it rammed down my freaking neck. I've had enough of this shite. Do you know what I mean?
Same. I'm sick of it. I'm living and breathing it every day. We all are. But imagine this. Basically, it's the pig in the hen show. There's this massive fuck-off-sized elephant in the room, and we all know what the hell it is. And it's there. We all accept it's there. Every now and then we're going to look at it. We might acknowledge it. But other than that, we're going to carry on having our chat, lads and lasses. That's right. What we're doing.
That's right. We're not going to make the whole chat about the elephant in the room. Do you know what I mean? It's there stinking up the place. It's dropping logs all over the gaff. But we might mention it now and then, sometimes when it does drop a big log.
If the stink gets real bad.
If the stink gets real bad, if it starts screaming, then of course. But anyway, so what I wanted to just say is the show's not going to be centric on that today, but there are going to be obviously topics of discussion which are covered in that, so we can't do anything about that. That's the major talking point in sport right now. What we want to start the video off with is just by really talking about just how bloody, for a start, my feelings, it's absolutely gash that there's no football right now, lads and lasses. I'm pulling my freaking hair out, I honestly am. It's a nightmare. It really is. I mean, I know there's bigger fish to fry here. I know there's more important things to consider, absolutely, than football. They've done the right thing, 100%, which our government didn't do. The Premier League did, thankfully, and, the sporting bodies. But they've done that, and there's no football for a while. It's just absolutely annoying, isn't it? We're so accustomed to just having sport on left, right, and centre. I actually watched the UFC last night as well, because that's pretty much only some of the live sport that was on. It was actually, some decent fights on the card there, but that was weird because it was in Brazil. There's no crowd at all. You've got them all in the octagon. You can hear every single blow. It was quite interesting, actually. It was almost like one of those
cool in a way, isn't it? Quite cool that you can hear a pin drop because no one's even there to drop a pin. You know what I mean?
That's right. You can hear them sort of trash talking. You can hear what the referee's saying. You can hear all the blows. You can just hear absolutely everything, So I thought that was pretty cool. It's like some sort of old school, like, Kumite. Do you know what I mean? Like some freaking Jean-Claude Van Damme in freaking, Bloodsport type shit.
It's like a video. It's like a video game where you can mess around with the settings and turn off the music and the bullshit. And you just hearing the physical contact sound effects. I used to do that as a kid. That every time. You know what I mean? That would make the games better. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. But so I watched that, and we're just starved of sport at the moment anyway. That's the thing. We've just become so used to having so much sport, and it's almost got to the stage, like the other night I stuck on BT Sport, there was some football on, and it was the A-League, Australian A-League, and I actually sat and I watched some bloody Australian A-League, mate. Do you know what I mean? That's how desperate I am just to to check out football at the moment. So yes, mate. I mean, how are you coping with the no sport, the no football and all that sort of stuff, Hen?
Well, at the moment, what can I say? I'm kind of just watching the news, reading the news all day, every day. It's probably unhealthy. I am very much facing that big elephant in the room on a continuous basis, and it's not good for my health. It's not good for anyone's health to continuously do that. But I have to hold my hands up and say that is what I've been going through. Do you know what I mean? I can't help myself. I've always been a big fan of like disaster movies, and when it's actually unfolding in the real world, then I can't help but just look at it 24/7. I'll be honest with you, that's been me at the moment.
Yeah, well, I think we are all aware it's all going on. We need to educate ourselves on it, but at the same time, we just don't just get on as normal. Like pay attention to all the risks and all that sort of thing. But other than that, when you're at home chilling and you're fine, just try and relax. Do you know what I mean? Don't think too much about it, because otherwise it's just going to consume everyone.
I mean, what I would like to talk about is what's going. This is the topic we wanted to start on, is what's going to happen with the Premier League. And I said just before we went live, actually, I was having a quick read on Sky Sports, and there are a few different options. I believe need to be agreed by a certain amount of teams for those options to become viable, which, I kind of almost disagree with. I think surely it should just be, the FA that make the final decision or make the overriding decision, because if you allow too many teams to get involved, then obviously they're going to have their own prerogative, are they not? Like, you've got Karen Brady coming out saying, well, I'm kind of, I don't think she said that. Don't quote me on this, but certainly her name has been attached to the notion of, let's just say the points, everything, the league that's been played so far is all null and void, and start everything again. And well, obviously she's going to say that when West Ham, just re-employed Moyes and
possibly getting relegated,
and it's not so great down there. Of course, she's going to come out with that. So it's like, for me, we need to go through these options. Do you know the different options, Pig? You do, don't you?
Well, yeah, just to go over the different options. So, obviously the first one is just to declare the season void, basically, just to say that it didn't happen, just to start next season in September or whenever they started.
It was all a bad
as
dream,
a fresh.
unless you were a Liverpool fan. Yeah.
Yeah, in which case it was a bloody proper nightmare. But either way, fair play. I think that is an option. To me, it's an option that makes a lot of sense. I think it was Rincon who popped in the chat the other day and said this sort of thing happened last in 1939, before the Second World War. And obviously, they had to void it off. Now, I know that was a period of 6 years where they were at war, so they couldn't continue it any time quickly, and I don't really know when that decision was made. But they voided that. Now, this one, it could be voided. There'd be a lot of implications. It's not like it would be great for United if that happened, because United are sitting in a Champions League place right now. United are in the Europa League. We're in the FA Cup, and I secretly fancy our chances for some sort of a trophy at the moment this season. And top 5, it's on the cards. And now, if we wrote that off as the season just voided it, then of course Manchester United would not be in the Champions League next season. If we just started again and reset this season, then that wouldn't happen. So it's not good for Manchester United either. It's certainly not good for Liverpool. It's certainly not good for the teams. Well, it is good, I guess, for the teams that are that would have been relegated. That's the thing. It's just like, if they had a vote, all the teams that it has no implications to, sat in mid-table, are going to probably vote for in favour, and anybody that it actually affects in a negative way is going to vote no. But the fact is, there's going to be more teams that it doesn't affect. So if they had a vote for all the teams, that's why they can't really do that. They can't really have a vote, because that's not really the fair way of doing it, is it? So I agree with what you said about the FA. But I've actually got, just before you pipe in, Henry, I've got Karen Brady's quote here, which is what you were discussing there. She said, there's no dodging the possibility that all levels in the EFL, as well as the Premier League, will have to be cancelled and this season declared null and void, because if the players can't play, the games can't go ahead. So what if the league cannot be finished, as games in both the Premier League and in the EFL are affected? The only fair and reasonable thing to do is to declare the whole season null and void. You can't really do it, can you? You can't really do it. What are the other options then, Hen?
Okay, well, option number 2. To be honest, the first option does have some traction within parts. That's the scary thing. It's kind of one of those that is being talked about. It's being talked about.
It's the one that I think makes the most sense, in all honesty.
Well, but come on. Are you just saying that candidly, or are you saying
no? Because look, there'll be a lot of disruption down the line. Okay, we don't know what's going on with the Euros right now. Maybe they could finish it over the summer if the coronavirus and all this stuff is contained and not too bad. Like, who knows? There's so many different varying factors. It could get a lot worse. It could get a lot better. We don't know. So the fact of the matter is, we don't know when it will continue. Chances are it's not going to be April 3rd when they're looking at it again, which is in a few weeks' time. That's the chances are it won't be then. So it'll probably be a long time down the road. Now, what do you do? Disrupt several Premier League seasons, or just write it off down to the fact that it's one of those global emergencies that we can't do anything about? Sorry, Liverpool scummers. That's it. You can't expect.
Sorry, Liverpool scummers.
Well, yeah, it's only really
an announcement saying sorry, scummers. It's just not happening.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen. Yeah, the FA comes out, sorry, scummers. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, I think that's a viable option, is all I was saying. I'm not saying it's fair. It's absolutely not fair on Liverpool fans at all. It's just not fair. What else do you propose? Giving them the title? Just ending the league where it is right now? That's not fair on all the other teams, though.
Well, this is it. I mean, okay, so let's look at what is it? April the 3rd, suspended until April the 3rd. Let's be honest. Let's all be honest, right? That it's definitely not going to start up on April the 3rd again with the way things are looking. Okay, that's just not happening. Forget about that. There is zero chance of that happening. I'll tell you right now. You know, the Premier. It's not like April the 3rd comes along and says, "Oh, everything's fine and hunky dory and Premier League starting up again." That's not going to happen. Okay. So we have to look at what is going to happen with the Premier League. Option number one, like we've just discussed, null and void. I think there'd be too many voices out there. I mean, there's in the comments section or in the comments of the last video we did, there is a couple of people. There was at least one person that said, "I'd never watch football again." You know, there's fans, and there's going to be other fans out there that have exactly the same sentiment. It's like, you sweat blood and tears for your team. We've already gone through the majority of a season, and for that just to be cancelled, it just wouldn't feel right. I understand that this has been done in wartime. Okay, so what did you say? 1939? Is that right? Okay, I mean,
this is what Rincon said the other day. Yeah,
I wonder how far. I mean, I haven't looked into it, but I'd like to know how far were they through the season once obviously the season was cancelled. World War II is kicking off, and it's like, right, well, we're just going to have to forget about that. But the World War's kind of a little bit different because I mean that just went on for years. You know, all the guys had to stop playing and start bloody fighting. Essentially, is what happened. So I mean, that's just completely different. I mean, it's not. There was no chance of the season restarting anytime soon because most of those players are picking up arms and they're going off to fight the Nazis, right?
Yes, mate, I agree. It's totally different. Plus, there was a 6-year period, so we don't know how long it was after the war was declared that they actually said that it's voided. Maybe they planned to play it at a later date, but seeing as the war wasn't stopping anytime soon, it's like they can't carry on 6 years later with the same league. That's just ridiculous. They don't even have the same players or anything at all. So that is ridiculous. But Matt Lewis says 3 games in the war, so very different. So only 3 games. Yeah, in fact, I think it was it declared on. I think it was declared around my birthday, the start of September. Actually, I seem to remember the war. But anyway, yeah, I think that's it would be harsh on Liverpool. But what are the other options? So these are the other options. You either disrupt all the other seasons potentially coming up. You stop it where it is right now, which stitches up all of the teams that are currently in the relegation zone. Which some of them wouldn't be come the end of the year, which is just ridiculous. All the teams that are missing out on Champions League spots. Fact is, you're hurting more teams than just giving it to Liverpool. So the fact, if you ask me, it either has to be all finished at a later date or completely voided off. And as much as Liverpool fans would absolutely hate that, that's just how it has to be, because you can't just relegate, like for instance, Bournemouth, Villa, and Norwich are the bottom 3 at the moment. It's like there's still a whole bunch, 10 games left. Anything can happen at the bottom of the table there, so you can't just say, "Oh yeah, that's it. The season's a short one." You've had your home advantage, you've had your away, disadvantage in an uneven way as well. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to do that. You cannot do that.
I mean, I was reading on Sky Sports before we went live, and I didn't have a chance to digest it correctly. But there was some talk of converting the Premier League into a 22 Premier League club season format where you've got West Brom and Leeds, I believe, that come up.
Right.
I just don't understand how that works. So you're kind of doing some stuff that would have happened, but you're not doing other stuff, and who wins the league. It's just it'll get way too complicated for me. That just absolutely doesn't work. My idea from the previous show was everything's put on hold. I mean, let's be honest, the whole of Europe is on hold right now. So, like I say, because football is so integrated in terms of European championships, in terms of internationals with the Euros, in terms of transfer windows and everything, we all live and breathe football together internationally, let alone within Europe. It's so integral to the consistency of the game as we know it. So for me, it's everything's called off until everything begins again. I think we pretty much looked at the cancellation of Serie A last week, the cancellation of the Premier League this week. Everything's kind of going going hand in hand? I mean, okay, is Eredivisie still playing? I don't know. I haven't looked into it enough.
I don't
Do we
think
have
so.
some of the smaller leagues? I would have thought everything's just
Well,
shut down
the
right
Australian
now.
A-League I was watching the other night, so that was on.
Oh, okay,
I
so they're
think
still
some of the
going
lower
for it,
league,
yeah?
I think some of the lower league games were still on, or perhaps even non-league football still on at the moment. So, but yeah, I mean, just to read out a bunch of the comments here in the comment section, because it's obviously quite an interesting topic with a lot of people's ideas here. Red Blazer says push the Euros back to 2021. That is obviously
Yes,
a good option.
absolutely, yeah. It'll have to
Matty
be.
Lewis says I think personally it should be voided and everyone
Mm.
stays where they are across Europe too. Start next year as if it was the start of this one.
Wow. Is he a Liverpool
Which
fan? He's not, is he?
oh no, he's
Not a
definitely not a
Liverpool
Liverpool fan.
is he?
But that's the thing. What are you going to? The only way that could. These are the two. Forget all the other options really, because this is bullshit to even discuss. Really, the two only possible options, the only possible outcomes are they finish this season at a later date, or it does indeed get voided and then they start again. In my eyes, those are the only two realistic actual outcomes here, because those are the easiest ways just for the red tape surrounding everyone. Like,
To manage
sorry, we're having
everything,
to
exactly.
reset. It's got to be fair
There's
for
a massive
everybody.
there's a massive issue with what I think should happen is we just restart everything when we can, and if needs be, we just miss a season of football. So in the whole of Europe, we just miss a season. We push back Euros until 2021. The World Cup still goes ahead in 2024, for example. The Champions League. It stays as it is. You've still beaten the teams that you have. Whoever's still currently in the competition, as well as the Europa League, stays the same, and you finish it off next year. The Premier League, Serie A, La Liga, and the rest push on when they can, and then we just miss out on a season of football. But, and this is a big but, the massive problem with managing it like that, where we just miss out on a season's worth of football and encompass this season over this season and the next, is the economic implications. And obviously there's going to be economic implications anyway across the board worldwide because of the big stupid stinking fat elephant in the room, okay? But when it comes to the football itself, all of the governing bodies, all they want to do is try to get football kick-started ASAP. And if the voided option becomes more economically viable football-wise than encompassing it over the fact that we've missed a season's worth of football, then they will void it. That's the worry. That's the worry for Liverpool fans out there, that it will become more important to start football ASAP once we can, rather than try to keep things fair and say, okay, we'll just halt all of football until we can just finish up the points as they should have been.
Yes, well, certainly I think anybody in a favourable position is going to take that stance that they need to carry it on later. Stephen Severn says if there was a severe storm, we would wait until it passes. Why is there talk of voiding it? Which is a fair point. I mean, we don't know how long this is going to go on. It could. I mean, I very much doubt it, but it could be in a heck of a lot better situation in a month's time, say, and then possibly we could get some normality back. But the fact is as well, like, until people stop getting diagnosed with it, which at this stage it's not happening, like players are getting diagnosed with it. I saw Valencia, a bunch of their players have been diagnosed with it. We had Arteta, we've had a few players in the Premier League. Like, that will probably continue to happen. That in itself is obviously a hindrance to football clubs if they weren't going to continue to play. But it's just a massively mixed feeling across the board on this one. We've got this comment here from OTB. Shout out to Demir Lassina as well. OTB comments, will be impossible to play this season out later in the year. It will disrupt everything. It has to be voided, and everyone stay in their current league competition they qualified for in the 2018-19 season. Rachel Manchester says, just start again next year. It's not rocket science.
Again, not Liverpool fans, these people. And I'm kind of starting to understand where these comments are coming from, where these people are coming from, because bottom line, it just is not economically viable. I mean, right now, what we're looking at, what the experts are predicting in terms of that stinking white elephant, is the fact that there's no way that, things are going to kickstart in April, let alone this summer. So we're going to get to the new season, which would start in August. It starts in bloody August. Even I think that's optimistic. So what are you saying? So the void people out there, what are we saying is like, hopefully everything's sorted by August. Okay, and then we just start a brand new Premier League season. I mean, even that is very optimistic right now.
That is very, very optimistic, yeah, which is why I think maybe the voiding option makes a lot of sense, because the longer it goes on, you can't just continue this season like after the next season or have it instead of the next season. There's only 10 games left, do you know what I mean? Like, think about the financial ramifications just on the people involved with these football clubs, and not even necessarily at the top level, but down the leagues a little bit, lower down the leagues where they were relying on their attendance, where they're relying on being able to play and generate that income for the football club. They don't necessarily have these massive TV right and commercial deals like the top flight clubs do. Rincon comments, clubs won't agree to a year of no football, Hen. It has to be voided. All the people saying I won't watch football if it's voided are dumb. People are dying. So, he's got a very strong stance on it there.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, to be honest, the more I think about it, the more that will just happen. I mean, for Liverpool fans out there, the only silver lining is, well, at least you get to try to retain your Champions League crown or whatever,
Yeah, but as much as I think that it's a nightmare if the season's voided, and trust me, it is. If United don't have to. Can't start next season with Champions League football, and our Europa League run and FA Cup run, that's all voided. United are one of the clubs that really doesn't benefit from that at all. But at the same point, I think for the disruption purposes, it might make the most sense for the future seasons from an objective point of view. And yeah, okay, maybe if we were winning the league and Liverpool, and it wasn't Liverpool that were winning the league, maybe I would feel slightly differently about that. I'm not going to lie. But because let's be honest now, Champions League qualification is huge for this football club. We need it, but it's not like your first title in 30 years. So I understand it from the Scousers' point of view. Jarvis Cocker comments, it's predicted to last 6 months. United have 19 games left. That's 10 weeks. If we start up in September and continue on the bounce to December, that's 50 plus games until summer. It's impossible. So, yeah, I agree. I mean, I just don't understand logically where they're going to get it. I mean, okay, if, like they've suspended it until the 3rd of April. If they continue straight after that and they don't have a Euro 2020, then yeah, we could start next season as normal. That's not going to happen, is it? They can't even play them behind closed doors because half the players are going to probably have issues.
I mean, I went into this show today, thinking, I'm going to stand by what I said. We just need to extend until we can continue from the points that we are as a continent. That sounds like the right thing to do. But having listened to yourself, Pig, having listened to some of the comments out there, having listened to Alex Rincon there, what could I say? I have to hold my hands up and say, you guys are probably right. It's madness. I mean, this is just crazy. This is blowing my mind right now. This is blowing my mind. If you told me the day that we lost the Champions League and I was crying into my hands, okay, someone turned around and said, next season, you'll continue with Poch. You won't be doing too well. You will appoint Mourinho. Then some kind of pandemic virus will be stop football worldwide. So that season will be called off. So basically, you would have lost your manager because he's been sacked. You would have got Jose Mourinho and just forget about that season. Basically, forget about the season. You've gone from Poch to Mourinho, and then a year later, you're going to start off with Mourinho, and it's going to be a clean slate for Tottenham Hotspur in their brand new stadium. I mean, that is crazy, mate. It is crazy what's happened.
Yes, I mean, I didn't even really think about that, but for Tottenham, that would be like literally the most amazing thing that could possibly happen, couldn't it?
Well, it's like great for us. It's absolutely great for us with our injury problems. Of course it is. I mean, it almost sickens me just to talk about Tottenham when there's shit's hitting the fan worldwide, with that stinky, big, fucking horrible elephant in the room. But, we got, when it comes to talk about football, I can't, as a Tottenham fan, happy days if this is what's going to happen. I do feel for them Liverpool fans, though. I do. I'm not United. I don't hate the Liverpool like you do. I do feel for him.
Just want to say, Alex, I know you've got your views and stuff, but Kaiser Soze's just having his say there. He's not saying anything wrong at all, so please don't hide his comments. That's what I'm saying. Everybody gets a voice and a platform on this platform. He's not saying anything racist.
And this is the
last. No, he's not saying anything racist or homophobic. He's just sharing his views. I just want to make it clear because I want everybody in this live chat to have their say and be involved. Alex, you do a great job with the moderating and stuff. But yeah, absolutely. He's not saying anything wrong there. He's just saying his own views and opinions. There's nothing wrong with that. So, so I just want to, just keep it to just the homophobia, just the racism, and just that sort of stuff. Anyway.
It's time for people to say to speak. Free speech is important. I'm a massive advocate of it, even though I live in a country that doesn't really advocate for it. I love it. Let me go get a beer pig. I'll be straight back.
Okay, mate. Yeah, because he just said he's certainly not going to get any vaccine for this. No way. Which I understand for some people, might view that as not a good thing to promote, but that's just his personal view. That's absolutely spot on. But you can disagree with his anti-vaccine views, but he's allowed to have those views. That's the point I'm making. Do you know what I mean? So you're a great moderator, Alex. But yeah, just the racists and the homophobes and all that. Anyway, but yeah, fair enough. If you can let them have their say. Like the music fiend says, anti-vaxxers are dumb, but let them have their say. Fair play to you. Anyway, so Henry's grabbing a beer. Just another thing that I wanted to discuss, actually, to do with this is Wayne Rooney's comments. Obviously, Wayne Rooney coaching at Derby at the moment, and he's had his say about it. He said they felt like footballers were being treated like guinea pigs or treated like guinea pigs right now. Is it tret or treated, by the way? Because I've always said tret. My parents are Northerners, and I've always said tret. But when I say tret down here down south, they all go treated, and I go, no, tret. Google it. So is it treated or tret? Do you know what I mean? Nobody seems to say tret as much as treated these days. Interesting little point of discussion. But anyway, the Premier League and EFL postponed all fixtures until the April the 4th. Basically what Rooney said, he said that in regards to how they felt, is looked like they were being guinea pigs out there because all the other leagues around the world, the NBA, etc., they were closing down their organisations, and the UK government was just carrying on as normal. In the end, the Premier League and the Football Association did come to the right, the right decision. But he said at Derby County, we sat at training on Thursday waiting for Boris Johnson to speak. People were anxious. Thankfully, football made the right call in the end. We had to put the season on hold. Some people won't be happy, but I just think in this case, football has to come second. It's a sport. It's just a sport. If people's lives are at risk, that has to come first, regardless of whether you're going to win the title, whether you're trying to get into Europe, or whether you're going to get relegated or promoted. So we're happy to play until September if the season extends to then. If that's how it has to be, that's our job. As long as we know we're safe to play and it's a safe environment for spectators, we'll play.
Forgot my bottle opener. 2 secs.
The next World Cup is in November and December 2022, so you can actually use this situation as an opportunity and say we're going to finish the 2019-20 season later this year, then prepare for 2022 by having next 2 seasons starting in winter. So I just thought that was quite an interesting point of discussion there, simply because what Wayne Rooney is basically suggesting here is that because of the World Cup in Qatar in 2022, which is actually going to be a winter World Cup anyway, you might as well actually take this opportunity to change the Premier League for a couple of seasons and have a winter start. So what do you think about that, Henry?
So I wanted to talk about my beer, but I won't.
Do what you want, Henry. Wayne Rooney's comments on starting because of the World Cup in Qatar 2022, he thinks maybe winter, we should just have a break and start the next Premier League season in winter and prepare for the 22 World Cup. So just change the times we have for our competition. Hey, Henry, sorry to do this to you, mate. I'm going to have to just leave for 5 minutes. I've just got to grab a delivery real quick, mate. You're going to have to just talk about your beer. Yeah, I know, typical bloody turned up during this time, mate. Talk about your beer, talk about Wayne Rooney's comments, talk about whatever you want. I'm going to be a little while, mate. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, mate.
Okay.
All right, man.
We'll see you in a second.
All right, mate. See you in a sec. Sorry about this, lads and lasses. Speak to Henry.
Absolutely fine. Well, hopefully you'll be able to deal with me for a short while whilst the pig goes and picks up a delivery. Who knows what it is? Let us know in the comment section when Pig comes back. And he'll be able to read through what you think it is. I mean, I wouldn't know. Is it another Amazon delivery? Is he going to take make the right decisions when it comes? At the moment, there's a virus out there. Is he going to wipe down the surfaces? Is he going out with a mask? Of course he's not. Who knows what he's doing? Hopefully he'll be back soon. I don't know what Rooney said. So Rooney has basically come out and said that he thinks that we should start the Premier League in the winter. Is that right? And then continue with things in preparation for a Qatar World Cup. Well, it all depends. If that all works, time structurally, if that works, then absolutely brilliant. I'm all for it. But it's at the moment, it's very difficult to kind of come up with any solution to this Premier League dilemma, because we simply do not know. We simply do not know the implications of the let's just call it what it is, the coronavirus, the COVID-19, how bad it's going to get, and how long it's going to go on for. There's experts out there saying we're looking at 4 months, we're looking at 6 months, we're looking all the way to the end of this year. So we just don't know. And until we can get a grip on the international, let alone the UK and the Premier League and the consequences in Europe right now. Under the end of the day, as we know, this stuff is starting to spread in the United States, South America, Africa. This stuff is worldwide. So how can any football start up whilst you still have local epidemics? As we know, this is a pandemic, which means it's global. But if you've got rising infections and mass strain on healthcare worldwide, how can you start up any football? Because it doesn't matter. Even if Europe gets on top of this, the UK gets on top of this, and I don't think they will right now. But once they do, and I hope to God everything's going to be okay, and Europe gets on top of this, and we can move forward. I still feel like the whole world kind of needs to be able to turn its back on this to move forward again. So we need to wait until that happens before we can start talking about exactly how we're going to move forward with the football. Anyway, let's talk about my beer momentarily. This is a snow beer. I looked up best-selling beers the other day. Okay, and I don't think this is recent, but a few years ago, this was actually the global best-selling beer. Now, that's misleading because it's not global, because obviously if you're listening from anywhere outside of mainland China, and if you haven't been to mainland China, you wouldn't know what a snow beer is. But it outsold Bud Light, Corona, Heineken, some of the other big names out there for 1 year. I mean, there might be more than that, but I'm pretty sure there's evidence out there that suggests this outsold those beers for 1 year. Okay, it's 4.5%. It's cheap as chips. This cost me, it's on a deal at the moment, but they're costing me 3 RMB, 3 Chinese yuan a bottle. Okay, that works out at about roughly over 30p a bottle of beer. In the UK, when I was in the UK, if you're buying a bottle of beer, doesn't matter what brand it is, you're not going to find a bottle of beer of this size for less than £1. You know what I'm saying? Because of the tax on it. So brew bevies in China are cheap. When I was in Thailand, I was drinking the Changs, I was drinking the Leos, the Sings. People mispronounce it as Singer, but actually it's a Sing. And they're a lot more pricey. You're paying, 200 baht or more for four big bottles, should we say. And that's working out at 50 RMB, that's Chinese money, or £5 or more, should we say, £6 or more for those 4 bottles. So a lot more expensive, and you would have thought, well, I mean, in general, Thailand's not obscene for beer prices. So China is very cheap for beer. Let's have a sip. Let me tell you what I think. It's just been opened. I haven't had a chance to have a sip because that stupid pig has had to go out and pick up a delivery. How dare he? I like him to take the lead on the show. He does all the chatting. I can sit back. I can say my piece every now and then after enjoying my sips. And I haven't been able to have a sip because I've had to take the lead on the show right now and talk to the bacon and egg brigade out there. Let me take a sip. Let me let you know what my thought process is on this taste right here. Let's try it. It's very refreshing. It's 4.5%, which is not bad for a Chinese beer. Now, you're probably thinking, why don't I drink the Qingdao? Sometimes I got the Qingdao. I've often got the Qingdao because actually where I am in South China, it's difficult at times to find the snow. I mean, it is available, but sometimes the shops don't have it. You know, it is my favourite beer, but the Qingdao is everywhere. And internationally, you know what Qingdao is. Now, if you drink Qingdao in the West, wherever you are, it's going to be exported. You're going to get the premium Qingdao. It's going to be 5% or more. It's what you get used to. Heineken's 5%. You know, but basically all the big brands are pretty much 5%. That's what you expect from a premium lager. Now in mainland China, they don't really go for the premium lagers. You don't really get your 5% lagers. So kind of averages out about 4%, shall we say. You get your 3 point somethings, your 4%, your 4.3. Now Qingdao in the mainland is either 4% alcohol on a can, it's 4.3% on a bottle, but on the snow it's 4.5. So yeah, I'm not an alcoholic. Well, okay, maybe I am. I'm certainly an enjoyer of my drink in the evenings. But I just find it too watery. You know, anything that's less than sort of 4.5, 4% is kind of like, you know, that's not a beer for me. It doesn't taste like beer anymore. It just tastes like watered down beer. For me, I don't want to be drinking that. So, you know, I'm a big fan of the snow because it is that 4.5%. It's very refreshing. It doesn't have a nasty taste. It's advertised as a dry beer. It's cheap as chips. So, you know, I have to be honest. I'm a big believer of the snow beer. So if you do come to mainland China, it's a good bet. Give it a go. Pig doesn't know what we've been talking about. We're trying to have a little guess of what he's had delivered. Now, he might not be so honest about what's been delivered because it might be a big dildo or something. Who knows? And I've also been talking about my snow beer, Pig. The people out there might know stuff that you don't know about. You know what's available
Boom.
out here in China.
Oh, how's it going? I'm back. Sorry about that, Henry Hotspur, mate. Sorry about that. It was a little bit of a while there. Did you handle it?
Well, I don't know. You ask people out there. I mean, I was talking. It's not like I was sitting here thinking, "Oh no, I don't know what to say. The pig's left me." It wasn't that sort of situation. But people did get a good spoonful of hen ice cream right there. And
Brilliant.
They either enjoyed the taste or they didn't.
No, it just took a little while because obviously we just got a package and basically you got to, you know, I just bin the package out into the recycling straight away.
I did talk about that, the sort of procedure that you'd
and
follow
then
in terms of
wipe it down a bit
yeah.
with some frickin' Dettol spray and stuff, and then wash my hands a good one, and you know, so that's why it took a little bit of time there. Sorry about that. But anyway, I'm glad I got my my big box of lube.
Are there any comments coming through? I want to know what people have got to say about the hen. I think that's the longest period of time that I've been left to my own devices on the Pig and the Hen show to date.
Yeah, Matt Lewis has got to get me a snow beer. Griffo Chaz says get hen on QVC.
I don't even know what that is.
McKay says snow beer better than no beer. Stephen Shark says it looks like you've got weed leaf wallpaper, which it does look like that. To be fair,
does look like that. I don't think it is. I think it's like oak leaf, but the artist is you know.
Rachel says you're making me want to try some. Have you just been selling snow beer to the masses here, Henry?
I've basically just been talking about beer, talk about the beer that I had in Thailand, the costs of being a beer drinker in Thailand compared to drinking beer here. Talk about Qingdao in comparison to snow.
Right.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a chat about guess what pigs got delivered and what is he taking the right precautions with the big elephant out there? Is he doing what he needs to do? And you know, and yeah, just talk. And I also did talk about the football shortly in terms of the trouble is, even if the UK or Europe gets coronavirus under control, the big problem is if it's still spiraling out of control in other countries around the world, then how can you keep football going in Europe unless no one's allowed to travel to Europe? If you've got you see what I mean? There's so many questions.
We just can't keep it going at the moment. That's the problem. That's the problem. Like we even talked about, Henry, you know, the fact is that as much as we don't want to admit it, if you look at some of the other viral strains that exist, they do have a tendency to mutate and change over time. And hopefully this won't be like that, but I think there's already a couple of different instances of it. But that's another thing you've got to consider. Who actually knows if it's even if we do get on top of this particular strain? Anyway, I don't want to. It's not about fear mongering. I don't want to fearmonger. I think the media are doing a good enough job of that. Do you know what I mean?
I'm on the edge of my seat, ready to tear a new arsehole into Boris Johnson and his strategy against this. Do you know what I mean? Simply for the fact of what you just said. But I'll keep restrained. I'll keep restrained.
I'd love to hear what you got. I'd love to hear what you got to say on Boris quick, and then we get back into the football stuff.
Well, all I can say is like what you just said, without getting into it too deeply right now. Bottom line, it's herd mentality. I don't know if anyone's heard about this, but I've said herd twice there, and I've used two different ways of herd.
Yeah.
So Boris's idea, for me, he's the fucking Pied Piper. What he wants is for the whole of the UK to get infected, but he wants it to happen gradually. Now, I don't see how he wants it to happen, gradually, when he's made no actions at all to try to slow it down. So he hasn't tried to stop people that are infected coming into the country. He hasn't tried to stop mass gatherings, although there's talk about that possibly happening next week. He hasn't closed schools down. There's talk about people potentially working from home soon, but again, that's just talk. So essentially, it's business as usual in the UK, and the chief medical advisor, Sir, whatever the fuck his name is, it makes me angry. I do know his name, but I can't think of it right now. He's come out and he's advised everybody that this is down to science. We're going to allow this thing to spread through the population of the UK. We need to get 60% of the population infected so that we can build up an immunity and achieve this kind of herd ideology. Now, for me, it's absolute bonkers. You look at Italy, where they're fighting. They're on their knees. The doctors. You read some of the accounts from doctors and people that can see what's going on in the hospitals in Italy. The second best rated hospitals in the world after Japan, and they're on their knees, and it's a crisis. It's been described as a tsunami, described as an earthquake. I know the Italians can be romantic at times, okay, but I don't think this is any time to accuse them of trying to play on words, right? This shit is real. So for us just to invite this into our country, say we're just going to take it on the bloody chin. How about Boris? How about you take it on the chin, mate? Why don't you lead by example? Get infected, show everybody it's just the fucking flu, right? Go live and say I've got it now. I'm fine. What's the big fuss? Of course he's not going to do that. Of course he's not going to bloody do that. We're looking at a situation in the UK where the whole of the UK could turn into the next Wuhan, the next Lombardy, which is the seriously affected part of Italy. Spain are closing things down. France are. Denmark have closed their borders. Poland have closed their borders. I think the only other country that's kind of actually doing things similar to us is Sweden. I don't know. I could go on and on and on.
Yeah, no, fair play, Henry.
Disgust me. And I'll come back to the point that you made before I went on this little mini rant. Okay, the fact that this virus can mutate. So what happens if we get through this? We lose 400,000 people, fatality-wise, because that's what the government has bloody said themselves. That's what we're looking at. If 60% of the population get infected, it could be a lot higher than that. We get through that stage where everybody thinks happy days. At least we're immune now, and we lost our loved ones to achieve this. Then the virus mutates, and it takes another swipe, and it sweeps through the fucking population again. That is the massive concern.
Yes, it's a concern, but it's also worst. It's also worst case. But yes, I don't agree with the action plan of the government. We did cover this quite a lot in the last video as well, so we won't get too much on it. But one thing you did talk about with me privately, Henry, which I found interesting, which the viewers might like to know, is China's response in the press to the UK government's dealing with the coronavirus right now. Because from what I understand, it's like quite big news over there that the UK are just we'll just carry on or whatever. Like China are like, what the fuck,
Is that accurate? It. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, this has been all day for the last couple of days. Like the English response to it being completely different from what the World Health Organization is saying. I'm not sitting here saying I love the World Health Organization. I think you got to believe everything they're saying. I'm the classic conspiracist on everything. You know that. I don't believe anything and everything that I read or see or hear. But the fact is, the rest of the world are approaching this and at least trying to contain this stuff, whereas the UK said, actually, let's just take it on the chin. Let's just accept this. And the Chinese, it's not just public response. There's scientists in China, there's doctors here that have obviously been dealing with the coronavirus that are coming out and saying the UK do not understand this fully. They're not in the position to come up with this ideology that this is what's going to work. Simply for the fact, and I've already said why, because they cannot guarantee that the virus is not going to mutate so that, yes, you lose lots of lives and then you're immune and then you can move forward. No one can say that's going to happen for a start. Secondly, the stance that you're just going to allow a lot of people just with symptoms to stay at home, and I understand why the UK is doing this, is because they do not have the facilities to be able to take on every single person that's infected. Otherwise, the NHS would be overflown very, very quickly. So I get that. Stay at home and see how you're getting on, but there's experts out here that said that the symptoms can change very quickly. So let's say that you're a 40, 50-year-old something, or whatever age you are, you think, I'm all right, I'm feeling unwell, but I'm at home, and then suddenly you're really bad, and things can happen so quickly that, by the time you get to hospital and you say, I was trying to stay at home, but it's real bad, you probably wouldn't be able to talk at that stage. You're dead. That's the reality right now.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's. I don't even want to talk about it anymore, mate. It's horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous.
But
that's
enough, isn't it? That's enough.
It's enough.
Really
Yeah.
enough, isn't it?
It's enough. But just to get back into it, football-related stuff. Just a massive shout out to everybody that's joining us today for this bonus Sunday show. We would be getting ready right now to do the Spurs versus United game watch along. But unfortunately, there isn't one.
That would have been epic, wouldn't it? I was so looking forward to it. I was bigging it up on the previous Pig and the Hen show before the last one, where we knew it wasn't going to happen. And it would have been the first, wouldn't it, where we both can watch a game live. It's almost a good thing that we're not sat in the same room. Otherwise, we'd be taking swipes at each other, Although that might be entertaining in itself. Just rip that bloody hat off your head if you were to score 5 goals or something and say, do you know what?
But anyway, before I went to the delivery, did you give your opinion on Wayne Rooney's proposition here?
Well, I need to hear more about this proposition. I did. Basically,
yeah,
what
he basically said we're happy to play until September if the season extends to then. If that's how it has to be, that's our job. As long as we know we're safe to play and it's a safe environment for spectators, we'll play. He said the next World Cup is in November and December 2022. So you could actually use this situation as an opportunity and say we're going to finish the 2019-20 season later this year. Then prepare for the 2022 World Cup by having the next 2 seasons starting in winter.
I think I said 2024 earlier, and I had a mare because, of course, it's 2022, the Qatar World Cup. I mean, I do agree with Rooney's idea there, but as I said, at the moment, it all depends on how the situation unfolds. It all depends on if we get to that stage where that is feasible, if that's viable, happy days, that can work. But it's all dependent on that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it really depends what happens with that. Just a little bit of football news. There's not much football news going on, and it almost feels like ridiculous to talk about this sort of a topic when there's all this stuff going on. But it just goes to show you that there's still other stuff that's facing people that needs to be, respected, and there's also just scum out there. Not everybody is pulling in the same direction. What I want to talk about is a Tottenham player, Henry. I don't know if you saw this, but Jan Vertonghen, while he was out on international duty with Spurs on Tuesday, his home was burglarised by 4 men in balaclavas with knives, and they held his family at knife point.
Really? And, I did not know this.
Yeah, and took a whole bunch of staff, and it said nobody was injured. The suspects left the scene before officers arrived. There have been no arrests, and inquiries continue. But yeah, I mean, there's some scum people out there. There's all this stuff going on in the world. People dying, and there's people just trying to go out there and rob footballers' homes while they're away and holding people knife point. It's messed up, mate.
No, that's crazy. I mean,
did you know about that?
I didn't, and the reason I don't is because I'm, obviously, it's just the white elephant for me at the moment. That's the problem, and that would be the same for a lot of our listeners. There's probably massive news stories going on that are just being overlooked because people can't help but look at the overriding main news story. So yeah, I mean that Jan Vertonghen thing, that's disgusting. That's despicable. I mean, that's never happened to me, and I'll touch wood right now. I hope that never happens where I'm having to deal with a situation where my family are being threatened, at knife point because people want to rob my home. There might be a few people out there listening right now that have had these situations, and that's awful. It's awful. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I'd imagine Jan Vertonghen's probably spent a lot of money on home security. As you would, and it just goes to show that even if you've got a nice house and you've got all your equipment set up, and I'm just speculating here, but it obviously doesn't always work. So one thing that people often forget, and people slate the fact that there's so much money in football and these players get paid so much, but the trouble with being in the limelight and people knowing that you've got a lot of money means you take a lot more risk, just living a normal human life. And you obviously have to spend a lot of your money on protecting your family, which for normal families out there, you wouldn't have to worry about that because you're not Jan Vertonghen.
That's what I mean. Sometimes all this success and fame, it brings a whole host of other problems with it. Like really, it's like if you don't have shit, nobody's trying to take shit from you. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes you're better off that way. I mean, John Lennon. Somebody shot him dead in the street because he was a famous singer. Sometimes it doesn't bring all the best stuff like people think it does. And certainly I think this is another example of that. So 100% I hear what you're saying. 92 of you bloody legends tuning in here. Please give it a share on social media. Let's see if we can peak 100. Please do us a favour as well and smash a cheeky little thumbs up on this video. I want to give a shout out to all the Bacon and Egg Brigade who are tuning in right now. You bunch of bloody legiondes. Also massive shout out to Gungshi here who sent over a PayPal donation, literally saying this. My loins are buzzing. My loins are buzzing. A sure sign that it's time for the pig and the hen. Get in there, Bacon and Egg Brigade. Sorry, Gungsha, I missed that. That was from a little while ago near the start of the show. Thank you so much for your continued support, Gungers. Hope you're staying safe out there in Taiwan. You bloody legend. Also,
I mean, Gunshi's loving it at the moment, because he's a massive fan of the show, as many of you are. And we've just had the opportunity to do more shows more often. And if you love the show, happy days for you guys. I mean, I know how I feel when I'm really into something, I'm following something on YouTube, and then suddenly there's just more of it. There's a few people I follow. I won't mention any names. I don't want people to get the wrong idea about me. You probably already have many wrong ideas about me anyway. But there's people that I follow out there, and they literally just put out a video maybe once a month if you're lucky. Once every 2 months is probably average. And I think, why don't you just do more? You've got like millions of followers. Every video that you put out, you get like millions of views. You're obviously loved. I love the content you're putting out. What's wrong with you?
Right. Fair play. I'll be interested. You have to tell me off air who that is you're referring to, mate. Sounds like they got the dream formula worked out. Do you know what I mean? Put 5 videos on a year and get millions of views. Spot on. But Nicola Mrs. Piggy, thanks for getting in here and giving YouTube 30 to 40% of your super chat here. She says, you're both legends. Keep up the great videos. Thank you so much. That's my missus there. Hope you're feeling better, darling. I'll speak to you very, very soon. G. Wolf says, hey, Pig and Hen, still quite busy at Heathrow, but come Tuesday, nothing. Yeah, fair play. Yeah, it's busy at Heathrow at the moment then. And as far as I'm aware, there's not even really any extra checks or temperature checks or anything like that going on. You get off the plane from Italy and you're just free to go about your day. Is that accurate? I don't know. Let us know, G Wolf. Griffo says, oh no, Pig doesn't like it when Mrs. Piggy super chats. No, I know, it's a bit pointless, isn't it? Just chucking 40% of it down the chitter. But either way, Manny Sloopaki.
And he doesn't like it, does he? Doesn't like his missus giving money to his mate.
That's it, you literally just got like 70p there, mate. Do you know what I mean? 70p to the hen. What?
So, what do you want me to do? Chuck it back at you, mate? Do you know what I mean?
I know. I want to read this super chat out. It's a sizable super chat again from Manny Slouflaki here, who's a fellow Greek person who lives over in Canada. Thank you very much, Manny, for getting in here. He's just sent
Greek person. Do you identify as Greek pig? Do you?
Yeah, I mean,
you
I'm
sort of do, don't you?
Well, I mean, I'm
obviously
I'm English because I'm 75% English, but and I'm born and raised in England. But genetically, I'm 25% Greek. Yeah. Anyway, I'd like to think of myself as 25% Spartan, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? Just to clarify. But anyway, he says, hello, Pig and Hen. He says, hello, Pig and Hen. Keep up the great content. Wishing good health to everyone. Stay safe. Here is some more COVID-free money. Minus 30Q. Not sure what that means. But about 30 quid, I think he means. Oh, you bloody legend. He says,
it means that it's not cash. He hasn't touched it. Do you know what I mean? It's
absolutely
COVID-free, mate.
That's what I mean. It's all about the contactless payments these days. Contactless came at the right time.
Banknotes, mate. Bitcoin. It's time to invest in Bitcoin, lads and lasses. Is it not?
Man, if I was in a shop, if I worked in a shop right now and people, God, I didn't even think about that. Think about people working in the newsagents and somebody hands them change over. It's like, go away with your fucking change. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want any of that right now.
Shite coppers. Fuck off.
Yeah, get it the fuck away from me. It's been sat in your bloody coin jar for years, festering as it is. Probably got bloody COVID-20 on it, let alone bloody COVID-19. Get that shit away from me. No, honestly, though, I haven't even thought about that. Like, I'd be disinfecting absolutely every single coin. I'd spend more day cleaning coins than I would taking coins.
Cheers.
But anyway, thank you so much, Manny Slovak. He says, I hope Mrs. Piggy gets better as well. Absolutely, my missus and her daughter are sort of self-isolating at the moment because they do have a bit of a sore throat and feel a bit ropey. But hopefully it's nothing. That's what I mean. You could quite easily get the common cold right now and think that is this. And the chances are that's what it is because a very tiny percentage of people currently do have it in the UK, certainly compared to the flu. But at the same time, you know, you could also have this. He says, how can I call in? Let me know how I can call in to give my thoughts. Hopefully it's not a long distance call, Judge. Absolutely not, Manny. All you need is Skype. Please download Skype on your phone or your computer or whatever. And you just have to phone on Skype, go to call contact. You can't add us as a contact, I don't think, but you can just phone Pig and the Hen Show at hotmail.com. And we will take some calls in about half an hour's time or something like that.
Can they choose if it's an audio call or a video call? I mean, are we giving people the option?
We're just going to keep it. Yeah, I mean, we're just going to keep it to audio calls because unfortunately, I don't know if you've seen every single time we have a video call. When I put it on there, put the video on, we get an echo for about 10 seconds and stuff like that. And if we're doing it repetitively, it's just going to be annoying. So we're just going to keep it to audio.
Also, some of you might be so beautiful out there, and we don't. You know, me and the Pig, we want to be the best looking people on this show, so we don't want some, handsome model out there, taking up our space. Do you know what I'm saying?
Now that definitely falls with you, Henry. Do you know what I mean? You can take that mantle on. Do you know what I mean? That's spot on, mate. Nice one. Manny Sinfaki says, I got Skype. Yes, it's Pig and the Hen Show at hotmail.com. That is the one you want to be calling later on, lads and lasses. There you go. Mark Singe just put it in the... No, not Gmail, not Gmail. Mark Singe just had a mail. Is that a joke? It's at hotmail.com.
He really does, doesn't he? Like, we need VAR constantly on Mark Sin, don't we? Anything he posts, anything he says could be wrong, lads and lasses. Keep an eye on that guy, all right?
Quality. But anyway, Mark Sin, have you got a cheeky little bonus quiz prepared for us today? We'll get onto that very, very shortly. Just one thing.
What's the schedule? So, how far are we into the show?
Well, we're already an hour. We're already in an hour and two, mate.
Half an hour, Mark Sin, if he's got his act together, and then we're going to allow people to call in. Is that
absolutely
what's happening?
That's what's happening. We'll take calls for about an hour. We'll get onto the question of sin literally in 2 minutes' time as well.
Oh, wow, we already blasted through the first hour, have we, of just football chatter. We haven't even spoken about whether VAR has been a success or not.
Okay, well, yeah.
Talk about that.
You're right. We better. You're absolutely spot on. We better get onto that then. So, just to give my thoughts on it, I actually, in all honesty, I know VAR is there to decide whether or not the correct decision has been made. What I would do, I would have goal line technology, and I would get rid of VAR. Because I preferred it back in the day when you just had human error. At least that way, you still had controversy, but there wasn't all this slowing down. There wasn't all this, we've scored, get in there, we're celebrating, 3 minutes later, chalked off. ridiculous. There wasn't any of that. And what you did have was maybe protests. What you did have is controversy, but you didn't have all that waiting period slowing down the game. I think if it worked perfectly, yeah, it would be worth the slowing down of the game. But it doesn't work perfectly. It just causes more controversy the other way. It's just taking the decision away from somebody, giving it to somebody else. You've seen time and time again this season alone that in some games decisions are given, and in other games for the same sort of incident decisions are not given. So there's no clear solidity across the whole board. It's just it varies. It's just decision. It makes no difference in my opinion. So in my humble opinion, VAR should actually be altogether scrapped. I preferred it when we just had human error. I preferred when we had a flowing game and it wasn't slowed down like that. And you're going to have your controversial points anyway. They might as well be made by some blokes, in my opinion, and then the game actually flows.
Yeah, in a way, there's talk about voiding the season. Yeah, that'd almost be a part of me, I guess, that would think, well, Liverpool fans won't be happy, but the fact that VAR is actually ruined many games this season for me, and it's been the first season that we've had VAR involved. The fact that we could actually void this season and we could almost blame VAR. Let's forget about the virus. Let's blame VAR and say, let's void the season because VAR just hasn't worked. Okay? And I'm in complete agreement with you, Pig, that it hasn't worked. For me, goal line technology, absolutely. What they need to be focusing on is the black and white parts of the game in regards to, was it a corner or not? Was it offside or not? Improve the technology, speed it up, get it faultless, where you've got a computer program that tells you flawlessly whether it's offside or not. There shouldn't be like a video referee that's looking at the line trying to ascertain whether it's offside or not. It should be a computer program that is faultless. Surely, in the modern day, with the technology that we've got, there should be a computer program that can ascertain exactly whether it's offside or not, because you can see when the ball is being kicked, and you can see if the attacking player is in front of the last defender. And the same goes for whether it's a corner or not, whose throw-in it is. When it comes to those aspects of the game, that's what we should be working towards, to make those parts perfect. But when it comes to the nitty-gritty, referees' decisions, leave it to the linesman. The linesman will almost become, if what I'm saying becomes true, the linesman would kind of become obsolete to a certain extent, but they would become the referee's second, third, fourth eyes. That's how I see things.
Interesting. Yeah, fair enough. Make some good points there. I mean, we'll see what happens. I just think that it's just too disruptive. Like Rachel says here, she says, I hate VAR, you can't celebrate. Which is kind of true, So true. Even sometimes there's a lot of legitimate goals. They all get looked at under scrutiny because of VAR. And so they're looking for things. And in reality, some of these things happen in such a flash. Like maybe it's grazed somebody's finger and you don't even know it in the build-up or whatever. And all of a sudden it's been ruled out. And there's so many occasions like that. What we should be trying to encourage, I think, this is what I think about the offside rule as well. Like you were saying about that, having a computer system that just finds it and all that kind of thing. What we should be doing is always giving the benefit of the doubt to the striker, because then you're going to get more goals. It's the same for everybody, but you're just going to get more goals. Just like this whole VAR thing. If you, if you don't scrutinise every single thing, you're going to get more goals, which I think benefits the spectacle of the game and the entertainment of the game. That's what people want, more goals. We don't want 0-0 bore fest because of VAR. We'd probably rather a 3-2 absolute.
If the computer program can't call it, base it on goal line technology, but if the computer program is basically coming up with a result is like it's too close to call, then it should be designed to give it to the attacking team. Like if no one's sure, if the computer's not sure, if a video referee's not sure, whatever it is, whatever gets agreed to once they tweak VAR, which they have to, then it should quickly be given as an advantage to the attacking team. Simple as that.
Yeah. Absolutely spot on, brilliant. So we've covered that then. VAR, what do you guys think? Let us know in the post-show comments, and also, thank you for everybody that's getting in here. Please do smash a little thumbs up on this vid. Give it a share if you can. That'll be absolutely bloody legendary of you. Right, okay, I just want to read this out. Mikel Arteta's wife says that the Arsenal head coach's symptoms would not have stopped him from working in a normal situation, and that the symptoms, that he wasn't that bad, basically. So that's all. That's good. That makes me feel good, because I know Mikel Arteta's a very healthy man. But, it just makes me feel good that he basically just felt like it was some sort of a cold. And if it wasn't for the fact that it is very contagious and that everybody putting these sanctions in place, then he would have probably just soldiered on and carried on. That's good. So, yeah. Very nice. Okay, then let's get on to the next segment of the show then, everybody. Thank you to everybody that is joining us right now. I'm just going to connect with Mark Sin here, and then what we'll do is we'll take some calls after that, and then we'll call it a show. So, thanks to everybody that's got in here today and got involved. I will open up the phone lines to call-ins after we've done the question of sin. So there's no point phoning in now because obviously, I've blocked or made it so nobody can call in while we do this, so we don't get too distracted. But certainly.
In particular, so probably just keep trying to continuously call and it's like, no, mate, stop it.
But certainly after all this, we will take some call-ins and open that up. But the email address that you want to put into Skype to call is pigandthehenshow@hotmail.com. That is what it is. Okay, brilliant stuff. So I'm going to give Mark Sin a little call. Again, you're a bunch of legends for tuning in. Also, a massive shout out to Ria GV, who's upgraded his membership as well. Shout out to you, mate. Thank you very much. Hey, check it out. It's the Cinnamon. How you doing, mate? All right?
Hello, guys. You all right, mate?
Yeah,
good
not
morning.
Too shabby, mate. All good in the hood?
Yeah, good. Can you hear me loud and clear, Henry?
I can hear you, Mark, but I can't see you. Yeah. I mean, I miss your beautiful face. I miss your cum sheets that you were using to hide your face last time. Do you know what I mean? Where's all of that gone?
Can you see that now?
Added to the fun of it.
Where's it? I mean, as long as the viewers... I've got Gordon the Gopher there, haven't I?
Yeah.
Well, you all that, mate?
He's got Gordon the Gopher as his display pic there. Yeah. Anyway, always nice to hear from you, Mark. Everybody safe around your area?
Well, I've got one personal friend that's been affected already.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she's... posted on. Apparently, she's been told to stay home, and it'll be.
Has
fine.
she been tested, Mark?
Yeah, she said she's got the coronavirus. Yeah.
So sorry, you've got a friend that's been tested positive.
Yeah,
and that has already led. That's already part of the official numbers of infected in the UK right now. The last I looked at was over 1,000. I know the UK are yet to release today's figures, and well, I guess your friend is going to be one of those new cases. I mean, bloody hell. Yeah, that's the reality right now.
It's a Facebook friend.
Bloody hell. Do you know how long she's had it for, Mark?
I don't know. She only posted a status today on Facebook.
Right, okay. Well, well, hopefully her symptoms are not too bad. Is she reasonably young?
Yeah, reasonably young and fit, so, yeah.
Fit, is she?
Yeah.
Sorry, fair play. I know, but
yeah.
Anyway, no, that's really not good news, mate. I think that's just going to be becoming a more common occurrance,
Yeah.
People we know are gonna
the elephant in
definitely
the room.
going to start getting it. That's the unfortunate thing. Sorry to say that with a smile. Henry's face just bloody set me off. Sounds sinister. I'm just smiling away, saying people are going to get the coronavirus.
I know. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
But anyway, any thoughts on this whole football debacle at the moment, Mark? How are you bearing up with it all?
Of course. I mean, listening to you guys, I just want to say that I don't think there's any fair way of whatever happens is going to be unfair to certain people, certain teams. So I don't think there's ever going to be a fair way to resolve what's happened.
Just like a question of sin, it's never going to be 100% fair, is it? I mean...
This is what I allude to Pig. Like in real football, sometimes the officials make the honest mistake, and the game continues
and the wrong calls. That's it.
With the score. So this is how.
And you got the saint in the stands saying, "That's wrong. Sheffield United did win those FA Cups back in the day. What are you talking about, Rex?
This is my one thing that I had, and you're taking it away from me." And to be fair, it was the only club that I left out, because there was the list that I worked from for some reason didn't include it. And
that's fair enough. I mean, it's
Wow.
just stuff like that. Those type of questions. How could anybody know that off the top of their head? You've got to do research. And to be fair, if where you're getting the research from is not correct, then there's not really much you can do, is there? So but
So
just to
what's the score
clarify,
so far?
everybody,
4-2, 4-2 to the Pig.
well, 4-2,
Just
but
to
I mean,
clarify.
in a way, we're talking
Hang on
about the
a sec,
Premier
forget
League
about
being
that.
voided,
Don't
Henry.
bring
We're
up
talking about
old
the Premier
dirt.
League being
Don't
voided
bring
due to the
up old
coronavirus.
dirt,
Let's
right?
talk about the virus that is all of these mistakes, mate, and the fact that it should have voided last week's quiz.
Hey, I've watched. No, you
The
two,
result stands.
You two listen. I think as the quiz master, you guys need to listen to me. Enough of you talking over me, Jake. All right, I'm going to take a stance.
That's fine. That's fine. If you say day is night and night is day, I'll just go along with it. You just feed Henry the points.
There have been times where
Have him replaced next week, Pig, yeah?
It's gone the other way for Henry.
Yeah, Griffo Chaz. Anyway, listen, shout out to you, Mark, though, for doing these quizzes. You do a great job. It was actually the most entertaining part of the show, and I loved Henry's rant about David Ginona's
This is
hair
it.
as well.
Just to make this clear, all this talk about voiding, we are doing no voiding on the Pig and the Hen show. Otherwise, I will quit. Do you know what I mean? I'm putting out there right now. It is 4-2 to the Pig. Okay, is that right? That's right.
Okay, fine.
We
I'm going to let you have
agree on
that. I'm going to let you have that.
No,
I made my threat. No one's going
only-
to take that away from me. That win, that victory last show.
that win was legit because you did get a harder set of questions. And to be fair, Pig was struggling a little bit with the FA Cup questions.
No, I'd have got them all day long. There was about 20
really,
left.
referees should shut their mouth, shouldn't they?
I promise you, I'd have got them all day long. Anyway, it's fine,
Talk too much.
Let's move on. Let's put it behind us. Let's agree. Henry was gifted
Since when does the referee say, to be honest, Manchester United are playing better or whatever, and they deserve to win?
Exactly.
Come on,
What sort of officiating is that?
Well, I'm not a referee, am I? I'm the FA. You know we're corrupted.
Corruption in football, I tell you.
Right, okay, we'll crack on. So I want you guys to speak to as many people as you can later on.
Legend.
And for today, any disputes, we've got Mr. Ian T.
Ian T.
As the VAR.
Nice one, Ian. Thank you very much for being the VAR, man.
Yeah, Mr. Ian T as VAR. So if I call it to VAR, Ian T can decide. Okay.
Mr. T,
Without
Mr.
any
Ian
argument.
T.
All right, the legend that is Mr. Ian T. Right, 4-2.
Okay, let's play the music then.
Yeah.
It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for a question of sin.
Epic, I love it.
I think
It goes on a bit. It goes on a bit.
It's a bit 8 bars too long. But what I was going to say, is what you could do is by the end of the year, you can have a montage of meltdowns from all the mess ups I've had in the background.
Absolutely.
Very true. Very true.
Absolutely. Good idea.
Right. Okay. New round. This week, and there's only one category. You win this, you win the round. All right. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to look over here away from the chat.
That's why the chat's not going to be able to help you at all on this one.
Okay, great stuff.
So this is one round to win the point. So this round is called Real Footballer or Bullshit Name. Okay. I've got a list of names. You take it in turns.
Good stuff.
Yeah, you take it in turns. I've numbered them randomly, and there's a random amount of real and fake people that I've made up. So you all have to decide whether they're real footballer or bullshitter. All right. So who wants to go first? I think as the trailing person, Henry, you go first.
Let's do it. Let's go. Go for
number
it.
1 to 10. Number 1 to 10. Give me a number.
Oh, sorry. Give you a number. Okay,
Yeah, I've assigned these names with a number.
It's almost like the actual question of sport here.
Yeah, it is. I'll go for number 7. Lucky number 7. Why not?
Number 7 is Shinsuke Nakamura. Is he a footballer or not a footballer?
Oh, you don't even have a backstory or anything? It's
No,
just the name.
that's it. That's the name.
Again, what's the name?
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke. Can you spell it? Spell it.
SHINSKENAKAMORA.
Bullshit.
That is correct. That is bullshit.
Yes.
And
Of course it's bullshit. I'm trying to come up with some weird kind of Asian name that just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, that is an actual wrestler. That's to Griffo Chan.
Oh, is it? Oh,
he's
sorry.
a massive wrestling fan. He's a massive wrestling fan, and he's an actual wrestler. Okay.
That's good. So,
Nice.
Sorry, just to clarify that none of these names are made up. They're all real names, but some of them are footballers and some of them are not.
Not necessarily.
Okay, that keeps things fair. Wow.
Right.
Well, there we go.
Point 2. Pig.
Okay, I'll go for 3.
3 is Ralph Minge.
Oh, do you know what? That's so fucked up. That's got to be real.
That is real. I think he's.
Come on, get in there. Let's get in there.
Henry.
Ralph Minge. Oh my days.
That is real. That is sadly real.
I'll go for number 5.
5. Okay, number 5 is Alexis Fukovsky.
Spell it. The surname.
Fuchhovski. Fukovsky.
Yeah, that sounds real. I'll go for real.
No, sorry, mate. That's
Yes.
made up.
Fuckovsky, Henry.
Made up. Bloody hell.
That is very made up, mate.
His name's Fuckovsky.
Well,
You
be
didn't
real,
even
mate.
twig.
You just went for Minge.
Yeah, I know, because that's, but Fuckovsky, I mean, come on.
Pig.
Number 4.
Number 4 is Michael Gash.
That's real. That is real.
That is real.
Shit.
He is a player from Germany. Michael Gash.
Michael Gashi.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not happy
Come on,
with
Henry.
this.
I wouldn't bother
Right,
with the spelling,
number
mate,
1.
though. Number 1 is Nicholas Bacon.
Real.
Fake.
Shit. Come on,
Fake.
Bacon. Richard Bacon mixed with Nicholas Bentner.
Sorry.
It could happen.
Sorry.
Love child.
Gone with the bacon. I thought you might think it's legit.
I've forgotten what numbers are left. Let's go for 9.
9 is David Farter. You guys
Fake.
Fake. It is fake.
Man, I'm spot on this. I'm bossing this week.
Oh. Henry.
Can I still win this?
Yeah, you can still win this.
Is it possible? Is it? But
Just
Pig needs
about.
to do
It's
Castle
3-1
Royale
at the moment, I
going
think,
Yeah,
forward.
it's 3-1. It's 3-1. You can
Well, I'll
still
go for
tie
number
it.
2. 2's available. Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
the numbers. Just give me
okay.
whatever.
Number 2, right? Igor Shitov.
You can shit up. It's fake.
That's real, isn't
He's
it?
real. He's
Yeah,
real.
that's
Bloody
real.
hell. Is that me out then? Is that me done? Is it?
Not pretty much.
Yeah, you're done.
Shall I give you? There's a few more, Pig. If you want to.
Yeah,
Shit
I'll
off.
take one more. Yeah.
SHITOV.
Yeah. Shit off. Yeah. Pig.
Whatever number you want.
Well, you got either an 8, 6, or 10.
Let's go for 10.
Hugo Cummings.
Real.
Fake.
Oh.
Oh. Henry.
Right, 6.
Fabian Assman.
How do you spell his surname?
Assman.
As
How do
in
you spell ASSMAN?
real.
He is real. He's real.
Yes, I've
He's
heard of
real.
That guy. I've heard of that.
What?
Assman. I have, mate.
Yes, he's real.
That's hilarious.
I think he's from South America.
Oh.
I think.
But I've
That's
heard of that
hilarious.
Assman.
But
I have.
I think they are pronounced slightly different. Like, it's just
Yeah.
yeah. I think there's one more for you, Pig, and it's no, that's it. No, that's it. Peter Panda. That's it. Last one.
Fake.
No, he's real. Peter Panda.
Damn it.
So hang on a
I
second.
win then.
What's going on then? Well, wait a second, because you said I still
3-2,
had a
3-2
chance.
overall.
No, you
3-2
didn't.
overall.
I lied.
What do you mean I
No,
didn't?
that's
You
it.
lied.
Yeah.
Mate,
I
Griffo
miscounted.
Chaz, mate, you are the replacement, mate. I'm fucked up with this bullshit.
It doesn't matter. You lost 3-2, sadly.
Have some of that
No,
Henry
this is
Hotspur,
so
you
wrong.
melter.
Basically, if you had Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester United, you would not have an Arsenal fan referee, would you?
Oh yeah,
Do
you
you know
would.
what I mean?
You just wouldn't. Surely you just wouldn't have a Man United or a Spurs referee. Surely why wouldn't you have
Yeah,
an
that
Arsenal?
happens in real life, Henry. Do you know what I mean? They have situations like that,
Do
don't
they?
they?
Do they?
Yeah.
Right, we'll move on.
Disgusting.
Move on to round 2. All right, round 2.
Nice one.
Round 2. Again, this is the 1 point round. Henry, you get 2 sets of. There's 2 sets of players, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you the initials of them, and you have to guess who they are from the initials. You either get attackers or defenders. Okay. So you choose set 1 or 2.
I'll go with attackers.
1 or 2. You don't get to choose.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'll go set 2. Set 2.
set 2's defenders, sadly.
Well, I said go attackers. What do you mean, mate?
No, but they're assigned, aren't they?
Oh,
That's what
you
the
mean
sets
is that
are.
I have to
That's
go
the fair way to do
defenders?
it.
Bloody
Yeah.
hell. Listen to your communication skills, Mark Sin, mate. You need to work on them, you do.
Right, they're all defenders, they're all current, all right?
Mm.
All in the Premier League, okay? So you got
Okay.
that. I know you've had a few beers. Now, if you get them wrong, I'm going to pass it over to Pig, okay? And then vice versa when he does his set, okay?
Sweet.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll only get an initial, and I'll give you a bit of time each one. So the first one, JV. Name the player.
Right. I need to name the player. It's JV.
Yep.
So it's
What is it? Sorry. Just to clarify, this is in
Full name.
what? In the Premier League?
Yep. Current Premier League.
Just anybody? Okay,
no,
cool.
it'd be one person that matches those initials, okay?
Oh, I see. Okay, sorry. Yeah, got you.
So JV.
don't know.
Pig, do you want to have a little stab?
Defenders, yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny Virgil van Dijk.
No, sorry, Jan Vertonghen.
Oh, wait,
Ah.
no, sorry. I was thinking J as in you're giving me his first name as J. As
Really?
That's his first name. Yes, mate. I would
He
have
said
got
initials,
Jan
didn't he?
Vertonghen. I would have got Jan Vertonghen. Sorry, you
Well,
did say initials. It's my fault. I've had a few beers. You
So it's
warned
your
me.
fault.
It's my fault. I'll
Okay.
take it on the chin.
Second
Just
one,
like Boris
Henry.
Johnson with the coronavirus. What a melt job.
All right, okay. MA, Henry. Defender.
This is bloody hard because it's like literally any Premier League team, and you just
But
got
you
to
would-
attach
you would have got
initials
JV,
to the
don't
player.
MA. I'll have to time you out, mate.
Marco Alonso.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Just
Unfortunately, the answer came after the timeout, so
I was
that's
about to.
unfortunate.
No, not quite, not quite.
It didn't, Pig. It felt bloody good back.
Right, okay, Henry, carry on. Keep that momentum going, all right?
ENT?
Ready? Henry, HM.
Harry Maguire.
Yes. JM, as in Juliet Mike. If I'm not coming through, JM.
That's the copper coming out in you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Well, he can't hear what I'm saying.
Tango, Oscar Sierra.
Juliet Mike, JM. And just to be clear, these are our first team players. It's not obscure players. Pig's having a little think. Let's see, Pig.
JM,
What are the letters again?
JM.
JM.
Nah.
Pass
I
it
don't-
over
I
to
don't
Pig.
have it.
Over to Pig for the steal.
No, I'm out of
Joel,
blank also.
Joel Matip. Okay.
Easy one as well. It's Melters. We're Melters. We're Melters, Henry. Joel Matip.
Well, no,
what
that's the first one I melted at, though. I would have got the first
Oh
one if I got
no!
the
You've
concept
also
of the
melted at
game
another
correctly.
one. Don't act like you got them all right. You
No, but I
also
would have got the first
one
one right if I just listened to the sin. All right.
KW, Henry.
W. It's a tricky one. Who's I keep thinking midfielders.
KW.
Oh yeah, I got it. Oh yeah, I've got
Oh
it.
shit, he's got it as well. That means I have to get it. What is it?
Timer on this one, eh?
Wait a sec. You should shut your mouth, Pig. You shut your mouth.
I think with the difficulty of it, I'll give it a little bit more time.
Okay.
And it go to you as well when you struggle.
That's fine. Sure it will.
I'll give you 5 seconds from now, all right, Henry? Timing out. Pig? Go on, Pig.
Kyle Walker.
Correct. Kyle
Come
for
on.
a steal, 1 stolen.
1 stolen.
Henry.
And only
Played
2
for Tottenham
actual
as
correct
well,
answers
what
from the
was I
hen.
thinking? Which didn't
You
come
should-
to me.
So it's
mate.
already 2-1 in this
Thinking
round
more
because I've already
exotic,
stolen one off
yeah.
you.
Foreign players.
Right, Henry,
Bloody
there's
hell.
2 more. There's 2 more, and you really need these points, all right? And you got 2 more. DY. D as in Delta, Y as in Yankee. DY.
DY.
I made this one this week a bit harder because you guys seem to just smash through my quiz a bit too easy.
I'm thinking I'm thinking defenders in general. Yoshida, what's his first name? It's not him. Does he still play? Why? Yeah. I'll give up, mate. I don't know, mate.
Pig.
No, I'm out.
You almost had it, Henry. You almost had it.
Was it Yoshida?
Yedlin. DeAndre Yedlin.
Oh, well,
How
I
was
think
that
I
nearly
almost
having it?
had
He said bloody Yoshida.
He was about to say yeah. He was almost about to say Yedlin as well.
Maybe,
Right,
mate,
okay,
maybe.
okay.
I was, mate. He's right. That's
Tough
right,
one.
yeah.
That was a tough one.
Yeah. Last one. NNO.
What do you mean NNO? Oh,
NO.
what? So
Last
double-barreled first name or
No, it's just
double-barreled
NO.
last name?
Just NO.
Oh, just NO. Just NO.
Yeah. I'm not going to choose one with more than 2, otherwise it'd be a bit easy. Got you both melting this week, haven't I?
I'm melting. I mean, who cares about defenders? Do you know what I mean? Bloody hell! You should have at least had the first name plus the surname. Well, actually, that's probably too easy. Yeah? This is good. This is a good section of the show, but you're making me look like an absolute melt.
Well, especially when there
N-O.
was only one Spurs player and you couldn't get it.
Yeah, because I couldn't
half.
comprehend the setup of the quiz right there. That was the problem.
enough.
I would have got Jan Vertonghen. N-O. Okay, so O. So is
5 seconds. 5, 4, 3.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Pigolus.
No, I'm totally a loss on this one as well.
Nicholas Otamendi.
Oh, it's so easy. It's so bloody easy. What's going on? Why can't my brain work properly?
Okay, Henry, you got two out of 7. Pig's
Oh,
at
good.
one.
Something in it. Something.
Hopefully you can steal some off Pig because, like you
Well,
said,
what did Pig
attackers.
steal? What did Pig steal? Pig stole one.
Yeah, he
right?
stole Carl Walker,
Yeah.
didn't he? So
Nothing,
you can
is it?
steal.
Nothing.
You can steal off him if he gets stuck. Okay.
But the strikers
Pig-
will be easier. I bet it'll blast through this. It'll be
Not
easier.
necessarily. Not necessarily. Pig, you ready? Attackers.
I'm ready. Born ready.
TW.
Theo Walcott.
Yeah.
He's not a striker. He's like a winger. Do you know what I mean? What
Well,
sort of
you know,
striker
he's a
is that?
forward, isn't
Yeah.
Like an attacking player. This is bullshit. It's going to be so easy.
he?
MG.
MG. MG.
MG.
Mhm.
Oh,
It's filth, isn't it? It's such filth.
fucking hell, it's pure filth. Yeah.
Give you 5 seconds before I hand it to Henry. 5.
Moisey Geen.
No. Henry, MG.
I don't have it.
Mason Greenwood.
Oh,
Boo you.
I think Pig
No.
should get a -1 for that, surely.
He should.
no! That's terrible.
He
We're not.
should.
We're not minus one of it.
He
That
should.
is
That's
terrible.
Awful.
Ma-
You know, he keeps saying he needs opportunities. He's been on the periphery. Come on, play him. And then when his initials
Yeah,
come
yeah,
up,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
It's
don't
easy.
even know
Yeah,
who he
all right,
is.
Henry.
Don't
We just
even know
we've only
who
just
he
started my
is.
one here. What we do know is you got 2 out of 7.
Disgusting
I've already got
from you,
1 out of
Pig.
7.
Disgusting,
Calm the fuck
mate.
down.
Disgusting.
All right, Pig, carry on.
You didn't get Jan Vertonghen, you melter. You hypocritical
Yeah, because I
melter.
said I didn't. I thought I was. The trouble is we've got a
You didn't
friend.
get Kyle
We've
Walker
got a
either,
friend.
ex-Spurs
We got-
player.
We got a friend that has the initials JV, and his actual first name is J, as in JAY. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, so that
It
confused
just
you, did
threw
it?
me.
How
It
fucking
threw
stupid
me.
is that? That's not the game we're playing.
What, TA for you, Pig? TA.
TA. Tammy Abraham.
Yep.
Come on.
RJ.
Fuck you, Hen.
RJ.
Sorry, RJ.
Yep.
RJ. Raul Jimenez.
Yep.
Come on. Come on.
DI.
DI. Danny Ings.
Yes.
It's easier. It's easier with the strikers. Of course it is.
GJ.
Giorgio Wijnaldum.
No.
He's not
Oh,
an
sorry,
attacking
Jay, you
player,
said.
is he? He's not an attacking
He's a
player,
midfielder
is he?
anyway.
Isn't Ronaldo's spelled with W?
I know, I had a man there. He's a midfielder anyway.
Go on then, Henry, for the steal.
So GJ, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
That's fucking dumb.
Gabriel Jesus.
Yes.
Yes. Does that put me back into
Doesn't really help
contention,
you much.
does it, or
No,
not?
no.
Doesn't really help you much. I've battered you.
And then JA, Pig.
J.A. J.A.
I've got it. I've got it as well. If I get it, Sin, does that put me back into contention or not?
No,
Have I
you're
already
far,
lost?
4-5.
Am I really? Oh,
Yeah.
bloody hell. Am I really? It's such a shame.
I know.
I'm going to give it up then.
Go on, Henry.
Jordan, are you?
Yes, correct.
But,
5.
Good one,
are you
good one.
sure? Can you just count it up right? I mean, it feels wrong that I've lost this because I feel like I came in with a couple of steals there.
Yeah,
No.
he got like 4 in a row, didn't he, from Tammy Abraham?
So what are you saying is he got 5
Yeah, I ruined
and
you.
I got 4?
Correct.
It's absolute bullshit, Absolute bullshit.
What can you say, Hen? You just got ruined, pal. You just got to take it on the chin.
I think if you got Jan Vertonghen, would that have been a draw? Yeah.
It would have been, yeah. I wasn't thinking. I was because of the beers, mate. You know, maybe I need to stop drinking again. But I've been accused. This is the thing, though. I went a couple of weeks off the beers, right? And there was fans out there saying Henry needs to get back on the beers. Even Gunshi, one of our biggest contributors, say Hen's no fun without the beers. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like, and then I end up drinking and I end up losing this. It's not fair, mate.
So is he lost the week?
That
then,
is
has he,
it.
Mark?
Sadly, he's lost.
Oh, Henry, you've lost, mate. Was there any bonus lightning questions?
There is. Do you want?
Fantastic. Well, you've lost, Henry, but you know, if you want
Fuck
to
this
try and save a little bit.
Ginola bullshit, mate. I'm getting another beer, mate.
You just
Go on,
melted,
then.
mate.
Go on.
Go on.
Lightning
Just
quiz.
get it over with.
Buzzer testing time.
For the pride, let's do it.
Oink oink.
Beep,
Henry.
beep.
Any issues? VAR. Okay. Ready? Listen. Which Premier League team has never been relegated?
Boop, boop.
Oink oink.
Henry.
Everton.
Incorrect. Pig.
Shit.
Arsenal.
Correct. One for the pig. What is the minimum amount of games required to win the FA Cup?
Boop, boop.
Henry.
7.
Incorrect. Pig.
6.
Correct.
Come on, get in there. 2-0.
2-0 at the moment. Who plays at Blundell Park?
Oink oink.
Go on.
Hearts.
No. Henry.
Dagenham and Redbridge.
No. Grimsby Town Football Club.
Ah, fuck.
Okay. Next question. Listen in. David Beckham became the first English player to win leagues in which 4 countries?
Oink
Go
oink.
on. Pig.
England, Spain, France, and the USA.
Correct.
Get in there.
Correct.
Come on.
Next question. Which English league is the furthest east?
Which English league is the
No,
furthest east?
English team. Which English team sits the furthest east?
Boop, boop.
Henry.
I'll go with Hull.
Hull. No.
Hull City.
Nope.
Okay, I'll go with Colchester United.
Norwich.
Oh,
Of course it
yeah.
is. It fucking sticks
Yeah.
out that part of the country. doesn't
Fucking
it?
what the hell am I on about? Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Who is the current Aston Villa manager?
Oh, what's his bloody name? Do you know what I mean? He's just not got enough of a personality. That's why we don't know.
Oh no.
When does he make the
I can't think of this
headlines?
now. On
When
the
he
spot.
what doesn't
We should
you-
know. We should definitely know, Pig. That is an embarrassment. We should know every single manager's name of the Premier League, should we not?
Mate, no, we do know it, but
Go on, Henry.
Stephen Merchant.
of all the people, I thought he actually knew then. I don't know. Who is it?
Dean Smith.
Oh, for fuck's sake, we've had a mare.
Absolutely awful. It's bad. It's pretty bad, to be honest.
He's got to be the
season
most
or two
forgettable
ago-
manager in the whole league,
season
though,
or
right?
2 ago, I'd know every single manager's name. But I'll be honest, I'm kind of,
Well,
I've got to that stage of my life where it's just like, fuck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The managers come and go so quickly. I just do not remember the names of them like I did when I was younger. That's honesty.
Is
That
it
right
bad
there.
that when you said who's the current Aston Villa manager, the first name that came into my head was John Gregory?
John.
That's how freaking set in the past I am.
Oh my god.
Dean Smith, man. Respect to Dean Smith. I mean, he's only just got him in the relegation zone, hasn't he?
Mm,
Is that right?
yeah.
There we go. So, I mean, this is the thing. If Aston Villa were flying high, okay, we'd probably know his name.
The Pig knew the Norwich manager. and all the Crystal Palace.
Yeah, no, that was just that. It's just that one. He's very forgettable. You know?
Right, next question then. In which year did Arsenal clinch the Premier League at White Hart Lane? What years? Go on, Henry. Which years? Obviously,
I'll go with 2001. 2000 to 2001.
No. Sorry. Pig.
They probably didn't even win it then anyway. I don't know.
I'll go 2001, 2002 season.
No, 2003, 2004.
Oh, bloody hell.
Fair
The
play.
Invincible season.
Yeah,
Right.
well, yeah. No need to go on about it, Mark. Yeah.
That question didn't come from me. I just let you know. Anyway, next question. What was the original colours of the Liverpool home kit before it changed to red?
Oink oink.
Pig, I think. Just.
Green.
No. Incorrect. Henry.
I'll go with yellow.
No. Blue.
For fuck's sake.
Weird shit. Why is that? They had a little bit of a dust up with the toffees to decide who got to change
funny enough,
kits or what.
Funny enough, that's part of the answer because they were one club, and Liverpool broke away because Everton used to be in red many years ago, so they chose the opposite colour to Liverpool to Everton. So they went to blue, and then at some point after that they did a full switch again.
That's mad, isn't it?
That is
Just
bizarre.
imagine.
Yeah,
I mean, we can't even imagine those teams in those opposing colours now, could we? But in some ways, that would be more original.
Everton were always in red before when they were.
That's mental, mate. I never knew that. That's awesome.
Yeah, a bit of fact. And so we're moving to the last question. Name 5 Dutch players to have scored a hat-trick in the Premier League.
Oink oink.
Go on, Pig.
Robin van Persie.
Yeah.
Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Yeah.
Let's go for Pierre van Hooijdonk.
No.
No, you
Pass
sure?
over to me,
Not in
pass
Forest
over
back
to
in the
me.
day. He used to score a shit ton. All right, fair enough. I've made it.
Is it on me?
I should. Why did I say that obscure one so quickly?
It's got to be Bergkamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be Van der Vaart.
Don't think he scored a hat-trick.
For fuck's sake, did he not?
Fucked
I
it then.
had on the list that I was given Van Persie.
Can we try and guess some of the rest?
Go on.
We've both got it
Go on.
wrong, but
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
I didn't have any. I was just saying, can we guess?
I've got
Can
one.
we guess the
I've got
rest?
one. I've got one.
Go on.
Go on.
Overmars.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good one, yeah.
I can go with Edgar Davids.
No.
Oh.
Did he play in the Premier League?
He did for a
played
bit, yeah.
Tottenham.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Was it Tottenham?
Yes, it was Peg.
Was it?
Yeah.
Disgusting.
I don't even remember that.
being questioning me on that.
He must have been. I tell you what, he must have been shite in the Premier League compared to what he did abroad, though. Because you just
Sure, it wasn't
think
that
about the
great,
legacy
to be
that
fair.
David's left on the Prem. There isn't one.
There's two more on the list.
Okay.
Dutch players that have scored, and you've said Van Persie, haven't
Think
you?
about the best Dutch strikers
one's
over the
an
last 20
ex-Liverpool.
years.
Van Wolfswinkel.
Oh, Dirk
On a
Kuyt.
random game?
Dirk Kuyt.
Dirk Kuyt.
Yeah.
Van Wolfswinkel never did it, did he?
No.
No.
There's next Chelsea, I think.
What
Chelsea.
about what's his name? The best player that never was. Did he even come to the Premier League? What was his name? Huntelaar. Did he come to the Premier League?
Now you're just naming players like Kluivert, but they didn't play they didn't score Premier League freaking hat tricks, mate.
No, the last one's Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course.
Isn't Hasselbank British? Is he not an English player?
I know it's not the most Dutch
Hasselbank
name,
was
that is it?
English.
Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. You think like?
I thought he was English, mate. Hasselbank. Is he not? Look that up. I'm questioning the sin on this. I'm pretty sure he's English.
Well, his name's Hasselbank is like it's a Germany Dutch sounding name, but Jimmy Floyd doesn't sound very Dutch.
I'm pretty sure Hasselbank was an English player, was he not? But he was.
Yeah, Ralph Hasenhüttl, he's an English manager too, isn't he?
Getting in the English game, but I thought he was English. I might be wrong. I'm not 100% on this.
Fair play, mate. Fair play.
Anyway, I'll leave you to check that. I need a wee, and I'm going to grab another beer, and then we're going to get into some call-ins, lads and lasses. I hope you're excited.
Absolutely. So, that's the end of the quiz there, yeah?
End of the quiz.
I destroyed Henry this week. It has to be said.
Pretty much, to be fair.
Interesting format of the quiz though this week, Mark. Fair play to you. Yeah, mixed it up a little bit there.
Yeah.
Keep it fresh and original. I like what you've done.
I'll have another one Wednesday if you're about.
Yeah, quality, mate. Yeah, basically the plan is to just do like normal Pig in the Hen show on Wednesday, so we'll have the full length. Pig in the Head with the Melter at the moment, the Nutbag of Note. Let's hope that there's some sort of football news to talk about. Then that's the thing. Like,
there will be.
I've seen all these YouTube channels and all these outlets and stuff literally clickbaiting galore right now because it's like they're just making stuff up now. Do you know what I mean? They just got to make stuff up.
Yeah,
we're not going to do that though.
Well, no, that's the thing. They're panicking a bit, aren't they? Because they know they're struggling for content. But whereas the advantage of us, you guys, you've got a close community. You know, people support what you do. When you do FIFA streams or stuff like this, or
shout out to everybody that watched the FIFA stream. It's had over 1,000 views. That's bloody awesome for like a late night Saturday night random FIFA stream. Some guy playing FIFA online. So thank you to everybody that's done that. But you're right though. Like me and Henry, to be fair as well, especially if Henry's with me, because this is what we do anyway. We just talk bollocks. So really, it's like there doesn't actually have to be that much going on for us to just fill a period of time and talk about stuff. So that is one advantage we've got on some of these other channels and stuff. Like we're not forced to pump out content about anything. We can just do a Pig in the Hen show, and that could be about bloody, what we used to fantasize and masturbate over while we were at school or something. Who knows? But maybe not that. Don't know why that came into my head, but oh crikey. Anyway, great quiz there, Mark. Thanks so much. Any burning issues you've got on your mind that you'd like to talk about before we
I think that covers it. I think that we'll let people go. Hopefully Gunji will ring in one day. Love to hear him. Hear his Welsh.
I've got my snow. I'm going to drown my sorrows. losing the question of sin. What is it? 5-2 now. Yeah, well done, Pig. Yeah. It's early days, mate. Early days in the season. It'll all get voided anyway, hopefully. We'll have to restart or something.
Smash you right up there, to be fair.
I'll let you get on. Cheers, guys.
Nice one, Mark. Thank you so much for the quiz, mate. Brilliant quiz. Hey, everybody, follow Mark Sin on Twitter at CinnamanThe, or just search the Cinnaman Football Quiz Master on Twitter. Give him a follow, everybody. He's hit over 100. Yeah. Let's try and get him to 250. So go over and follow CinnamanThe on Twitter. Nice one.
I usually have a lot of picture quizzes on there as well. It's quite fun.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of picture quizzes at the moment, so check them out.
So he's actually taken the quiz thing to another level. I mean, he's actually.
This is his actual persona now, Henry.
Man now. Oh, is it? Yeah, bloody hell.
He's actually the Cinnaman.
Yeah. Someone someone messaged me, DM, and said, "Am I actually the Cinnaman?" From the chase.
Celebrity status.
They thought I was actually the Cinnaman. But anyway, I told them what it was.
Okay.
Some people are off their bloody tits, mate.
Well, you're the Cinnaman. I don't even. Do you know what I mean? Who is the real Cinnaman's nothing to me, mate. For me, you are the man.
I'm more than blunder.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Great to hear from you, Mark.
Cheers,
great
guys.
quiz. Thanks so much, mate. Have a great day.
Unlucky.
Stay safe out there. Stay safe out there.
All right. Bye.
See you Wednesday, mate.
Worries,
cheers,
man.
Mark.
Catch you later.
Bye, mate. I just want to give a massive shout out to Matty. Sorry, I messed this up. Matty Rush, who says, "Great show, lads. Top quiz from the Cinnaman." Nice one there. Thank you so much, Matty Rush. You bloody hero. Matt Rush, ladies and gentlemen, in the live chat. One of the legends of the channel. He's just sent some support over, and he just wanted to say, "Great show from the Cinnaman." So there you go, the Cinnaman. Little bit of praise for you. From the Bacon and Egg Brigade here.
We'll keep you just for now, won't we? You know what I mean? Yeah. Just about, fulfilling his probation period, is he not?
And you'll appreciate this one from Mr. Hugh, Mr. Gungers over here, over in Taiwan, actually, who said, "Consolation beer money for the hen."
Oh,
So there you go,
okay, well,
Hen.
thank you.
It's not all doom and gloom.
That's mine. That is mine, Pig. Yeah, that is for
Well,
the hen.
we split everything
Specified.
50-50 down the middle, so, you know, a bit controversial. I don't think we can really do that to allocate certain individual bits to individuals. It's not going to work, really, but thanks for the victory money, Gungshi.
To be fair, when the pig does give me the rashers of bacon or whatever, he gives me the extra rasher of bacon if
That's right, it's
needs
always
be,
being
just
rounded
to
up, it's
sum
not being
things
rounded
up,
down, put it that way. Do you know what I mean?
There we go.
That's right.
You know, he's kept keeping me alive, and he's the pig. Thank you.
But honestly, though, thanks for that, Gungshi, mate, and thank you to Matt Rush. True bloody legends of the channel, honestly. Right, okay, we're going to wrap this up now for... sorry, not wrap it up. We're going to wrap up this part of the show, and we're going to open it up to some phone calls.
Come on.
Yeah, no. We're going to open it up to some phone calls for the next 45 minutes to an hour. So get in here, everybody who wants to call. I'm just going to open it up. So anybody can call. You can call Pig
Very
and
much
the Hen
so.
Show.
Very much so. Don't
Pig
be put off if we hurry you up and we go on to the next call. It's very much dependent on how many people want to call in, but we would like to get through some calls tonight. I'm not saying what you're saying is boring, but you know, if you're deemed a little bit boring, we might just have to go on to the next call. Okay, so that's what we're
even
what
if you're
doing
not
tonight.
boring. Even if you're not boring, it's like really it'd be nice to speak to as many, you know, just as many people as possible. So don't be disconcerted if we're like, you know, fuck off.
I shouldn't have said that. It's nothing to do with you because you're boring. If you get kicked away, it's about getting through the callers. So let's.
Hey, we've got a call coming in, Henry. Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
Who's this?
this is Busby.
Busby, how you doing, mate?
All right, man. How are you?
Yeah, not too shabby, mate. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from South Germany.
Germany, awesome. We've got another German viewer in the house. Fantastic, mate. All good over there?
Yeah, all good, man. Well, all good. You know.
Brilliant. And is there any burning issues or anything you had on your mind?
Yeah, man. Well, like I was listening to the show because about this time, I was expecting us to be watching the Tottenham game, but with the latest developments, that seems to be an impossible feat. So tuned in as usual, listening to you guys, smashed it in the competition. I don't know how you didn't get Mason Greenwood.
I know. Yeah, all right, Henry. You didn't get Jan Vertonghen either, mate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, okay, I missed Mason Greenwood. I went for all the other United strikers in my mind.
Look, Jan Vertonghen is a dying star. Mason Greenwood is a rising.
True.
Yeah,
I had a brain melt there. What can I say?
Enjoy the show, man. With this, with the coronavirus, I guess that's the new word. It seems like a daily word now. It's just injected into our dictionary, you know? It's a daily thing now that's being used and misused, and you really have to be careful what you really ingest and take seriously, which is what I'm trying to do.
But absolutely.
You can't deny the ramifications because obviously everything is shut down and everything. But on a lighter note, I think we should null and void the league. And this has nothing to do with me being a Man United fan.
You think we should void the league?
I think so, man. I think so.
Yeah.
Wow. So I mean, do you follow what's your name? What is it? Sid? Is it what's the name, Pig? Sorry, of this caller.
Busby.
Busby. Okay, Busby. Do you follow a particular team in the Premier League, just so that we can ascertain that first and foremost before you come out with your opinion?
I just said it, Han, how are you? I just said this has nothing to do with me being a Manchester United.
Oh, did you? Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Ben's struggling to hear over there. He's on the beers. He's had too many beers.
Yeah, that was sort of a double-edged sword. Like, it obviously has something to do with me being a United fan, when we're being real. But on a more serious note, when you look at the technicalities and everything involved, it's ridiculous, but it actually it's the only thing that makes sense. Because
okay, so if we do just postpone everything, and let's say we miss a full season of football European wide, okay, do you? That was my first idea, and I thought that's the fairest thing to happen. But are you in agreement that is not economically viable? Is that the reason why that will not happen?
Exactly. So that was going to be my first major reason, the economic side. Honestly, as a fan, I really don't care about the money. I'm more looking at it from a realistic point of view to say this is all assuming that this virus dies down, which is not a given, you know. So
Of course, yeah.
we've put these timescales to say, oh, on the April the 4th, we should get back to the games. Well, what if it's worse then? What if this is just the beginning? Or what if it's not? So right now there's no certainty. And because of that, you can't be like, well, let's play the games behind closed doors. Because as we've seen with your country, I don't know where you are, but in England, they were the last ones to shut it down. Everyone else has shut it down. Because you can't play behind closed doors. These footballers are not robots. They get it too. You know, so this idea let's finish the league behind closed doors, it doesn't help.
I'm actually with you, Busby, and I even though, you know, because people forget that this, you know, United stand to lose something here too. We've had a good, well, I was going to say we've had a good season, but we've had a season where next season we could be in the Champions League again. We could still win a trophy this season. So we stand to lose quite a lot, just like Liverpool. Not as much as Liverpool, because let's face it, they haven't lifted the Premier League title in their history. And if it's going to be chalked off, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's the same with Leeds United down in the Championship. Like, they're likely, obviously, to get promoted this year. They've been fighting to get back into the Premier League for a long time, and it's like they might have to have it voided as well and start all over again.
And it's not
but you can't just give them the title because they're so far ahead. What about all the other teams it affects? So I agree with you. Probably does need to be voided.
It sounds harsh, doesn't it? It's so harsh.
Okay, look at it this way. Look at it from a Norwich perspective. If you're Norwich, you're thinking, look, I've got 10 games. I had a master plan of coming back up and staying in this league. You're not going to relegate me based off my current position. So with the same thought, why would you award a league based on the current position?
You can't because like we've talked about, for instance, that's why you have a home and an away fixture, because then it's fair. Then you don't have a home advantage or an away disadvantage. And if you're ending it now when certain teams still have to play a lot of their fixtures away, or it's not fair. You'd either have to reset it or void it off. And I think, considering where we probably will be in August, September time, maybe just about ready, even though we don't know, but maybe just about ready to begin football again. I definitely don't think it's happening anytime soon. Then yeah, starting the season as normal probably does make a lot of sense, and finishing off the last season just wouldn't be possible if unless you write off the whole season, in which case you're not going to do that because there's 38 games of the season and there's only 10 left of this one. So yeah, I agree with you, Busby. Sack him off. Don't give it to the Scousers. Sorry.
Daniel Farke, Norwich manager. He's German, is he not?
Yeah, he is.
Yes.
He is. So you've got Daniel Farke right at the bottom of the league there, Norwich manager, and you've got, obviously, Jurgen Klopp right at the top, Liverpool. And one of them's thinking, please, God, no, we've worked so hard. And the other one rubbing his hands thinking, happy days, right? I mean, I just had another thought. What do you think of this, Busby? What about, I mean, as far as I know, Greenland is as far as we know, has not been affected by coronavirus as of yet. What about Mikel Arteta recovers, we fly out the entire Premier League to Greenland and they just stay there and complete the Premier League games. Something like that. I mean, I know that's madness, but why the hell not? You know what I mean? Just get it done. Get it completed.
Look, in an ideal world, I would have said you're living in Cuckooland, but unfortunately, England decided to leave the EU. So the EU has no regulation or obligation to satisfy your needs. No offense.
That's very true,
Greenland, I think they would like to continue with their farming and skating, and they don't want to be bothered about Nicolas Pepe and VAR and all this nonsense.
Who says Germans don't have a sense of humour?
They do, mate. They do.
They do. Yeah, they're funny.
Of course they do. Anyway, brilliant call, Busby. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah, we've got another call from Emmanuel coming in.
So much pressure on me by saying it shouldn't be a boring call. I appreciate you guys taking the call, by the way.
No, you've done well,
mate.
Oh,
no, it's a great call, mate. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
You've done very well,
appreciate it. Good job, lads.
Thank you. Have you been listening to this channel for long then, Busby?
Yeah, man. Ever since I saw your love for Anthony Martial, I couldn't take it back, man. I had to continue. Tony Martial FC.
Nice one, mate. Well, great to have
Take
you.
care,
You know, as
guys.
part
Take
of
care.
the
Take care. Nice one, hand.
Thank you. We'll
legends.
speak to
Have
you
a great
again.
day. Thank you, mate.
Ciao.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
I'll be in the chat. Bye.
Awesome. See you in the chat, Busby.
Bye.
Thank you very much for the call, mate. Have a good day. Hey, wait a second.
Well done,
Manny,
Pig. Well
Manny,
done, Pig, for doing
Manny
this, mate.
Sluflaki.
Yes, in the
Hey,
flesh.
hey, we can see him as well. How you doing, Manny?
Good. How are
He's
you
too
guys
handsome,
doing?
mate. Get rid of him. He's too
Hey.
handsome, mate. This is what I was talking about
I know.
earlier.
Hey, I mean, Greeks and their DNA, Spartans, you gotta look good,
I know, that's the thing. I've got too much English DNA in me. Unfortunately, I don't look like that.
That's unfortunate. That's quite unfortunate. First and foremost, happy birthday to Paul Pogba. It's his birthday today.
Yeah,
and,
happy birthday, Paul Pogba. Yeah.
He's doing a fundraiser for COVID, which is pretty good. Pretty beneficial. I was going to talk about the VAR mostly. As United fans, we shouldn't be complaining because much of our success lately has been due to VAR. There's been so many, close calls within the games and offsides that, weren't initially called. And, I think in terms of the pacing of the game, it does slow down. It's bad for the pacing of the game. But I think it's VAR is good when they get the VAR right, when there's no kind of gray area, when it's black and white, when you can tell, okay, this is an actual offside, or this is, because now we're if I don't know if offside is taken into account, if the hand is offside or if the arm is offside.
Yeah, there's like this strange grey area. It seems that they'd make a different decision every time, So.
Yeah.
But I'm with you though. I think that it's good, and ultimately what we do want is the correct decision. That's why we just don't want another situation like England against Germany in the World Cup or stuff like that with the really key decisions. But things like offsides, it's opinionated stuff. So how can you decide it fairly every time?
Yeah, I was gonna also mention VR being one thing, but this whole restructuring of the Premier League, it's kind of a concern here as well in Canada, where it's kind of happening within the hockey world and the sports world. Is how do they restructure the whole season? And it's kind of there's kind of a different opinion everywhere, where it's not something that you could put inside like a kind of standard practice prior to the season. There's no written thing where there's like a caveat where if this virus comes or if this pandemic occurs, what do we do? There's no methodology, so
there's no rules for this. What we're experiencing is what you're trying to say.
Unprecedented, yeah.
That's why it's all over the place right now. That's why nobody can figure out an appropriate strategy, and hopefully this gets sorted out as soon as possible. Because my recommendation would be, if by day X there's no progress being made with this virus and there's no containment strategies put in place, then it should definitely be voted. But everybody should come together and decide on that day. That way, there's no if and maybes when we cross that day. It's
sure.
Like a definite.
Yeah. So what you're trying to say there is the decision needs to be made sooner rather than later when it comes to this type of thing. I've got to agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Because like I don't know, like I've never been to a game in England, so it's. The crowds there are probably 10 times more than the hockey arenas that we get here. So,
what sort of attendances are you looking at? How many people do you get at the big hockey games there?
Well, in Vancouver, not so much, but the two big hockey cities in Canada are Montreal and Toronto. They have the biggest markets in Canada. In the States, I'm not particularly sure, but in Canada, you can get up to 22,000. Like 21,000 in a packed arena.
Okay, so it's a lot of people, but yeah, I mean, you're looking at a Premier League game, hosted in Old Trafford. If you got full capacity, then you're looking at 70,000 plus. So you're not Pig.
Manny knows this. Come on.
Yeah, of course. Come on. Like,
Come on, he's wearing a Manchester
There we
United
go.
shirt,
Well,
for
there we
Pete's
go.
sake. He
Sorry,
knows the
sorry.
attendance
There
of
we
Old
go.
I
Trafford.
haven't bought a
Yeah,
kid
there we go.
since I haven't bought a kid since the good old days, because I'm not gonna kind of fund something that's, you know, like
Good
that I
on
don't
you,
agree
Manny,
with.
yeah.
You know, like
I'm still in a
ever
question
since-
of sin mind mode. That's the problem, isn't it?
I agree with that as well. Like, I haven't bought a United shirt for a while. I did get sent one randomly last year. But other than that, I haven't actually, you know... I sound like one of those big times there, but no. Haven't actually bought one for a while, just simply because of the Glazers. And what I do actually want to buy, I don't know, somebody's got to be making this, is a proper Glazers out green and gold, you know, like revamp. That's what somebody should be selling that right now. There's got to be, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely the owner is definitely a big part in the whole management strategy, because I feel like the most knowledgeable person on the team would probably be the manager, and then the fans, you know. Like, I would say that, like, in terms of importance within a club, the fans should be put on top. Not
Yes, I agree,
the players, not the manager, not the owner. It should be the fans, you know. And that's kind of a thing that the owners are toying with a bit, in a way, because the way they're perceiving it is, well, you know, these fans are loyal to their team. They're not going to become suddenly a Chelsea fan someday if they're a Manchester United fan or a Tottenham fan. They're not going to suddenly, you know, switch teams, because, you know, England is you know, football is like very, like, kind of religious, you know, kind of how hockey is religious to Canada in a way. So they kind of toy with that idea, and they kind of, you know, tell themselves, oh, well, these fans are not going to, you know, budge from their team. They're going to be loyal. They're going to still attend the games, because that's what they've grown up to do, you know. So, you know, they don't really care about how the team performs in that sense, in a way. I'm not saying, I'm kind of using that term loosely here, but I'm sure they do care to some extent. But, you know, if you look at teams like, you know, Arsenal, for instance, where they have, you know, Stan Kroenke, he owns a multitude of teams in the States. You know, does he really have time to focus on Arsenal and to see how they're doing? You know, like, he's trying to look at what investment, what team is generating the most revenue. He really pays attention to those teams. You know, it doesn't.
Yes, yeah.
You know, Arsenal's
it's just a business to those sorts of guys, isn't it? Yeah.
Arsenal's probably like a side project to him. You know, so you have to have an owner that cares for the team, and, you know, that doesn't kind of take advantage of their fans in a way where, you know, because fans are coming in with a appropriate amount of money just for apparel, for tickets, for like their 2 hours spent watching a game. You know, it's a lot of time. You know, time is money.
And obviously the Liverpool guy, you know, owns various different sporting teams in the world, does he not? Was it Mr. Henry? Is that right? I think that's his name.
So.
So you've got a point there, but obviously Liverpool
Fenway
are
Sports
still
Group, but,
doing very well, despite the fact that is the owner. So he's obviously got advisors, he's got his team
I think
around
they're in the
him.
Boston Red Sox as well, or something like that.
Yeah,
So
Red Sox sounds about right.
Like that. Yeah.
Before we let you go, my friend, you phoned in about VAR. Could you summarise your biggest point of what you'd like to see, or how you'd like to see VAR going forward?
I like to get in terms of VAR, it's tough to say, because I feel like there was some thought put behind it, but it was still in a way kind of thrown in as like experimental process, at least for the past year and a half, 2 years. But there should be kind of, what I suggest, there should be 5 independent reviewers who review the play independently from each other, and they kind of make a vote on it, whether, you know, it should be offside. That way it's not influenced, right? Because there's this thing in called groupthink, where it's like, if you're in a group of 10 people or 5 people and you're discussing a product idea, and one guy comes up with a really good idea, you automatically, the rest of the people put that at the top.
It's the positive energy rubs off,
Exactly. So you want to kind of have an independent analysis. So I'd rather have like 5 or 6 5 people in there, kind of each to their own screen, each in their own booth, voting on if it's offside or not. And I guess the majority of the
wins, but they're all independent. Surely there has to be a time limit on this.
Yeah. I would say you have, like, there should be some type of technological wiring between like the instant replay and how fast it gets to the booth and for them.
There
to
we go.
check.
You got Marks in there saying time's up, isn't it? Essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, they need they should. The problem with VAR is it's just not 100% accurate or works properly right now, and it does have differences from decision to decision. Whereas we all know that it's a good idea in principle if it works and it gets you the right decision, because that's what we're trying to do, is just get the right decision. So I don't think it was ever really going to be perfect overnight. I think, like you said, Manny, they've used this last couple of years as like, just a bit of a experimentation period, find out what works, find out what doesn't, and at some point, possibly soon actually, because obviously there is a bit of a break in time where there will be football, they might just have a look at that and some of the ways that it's that it's actually implemented throughout the games, and some of the decisions that it's used for. So I don't think this is the finished VAR. I just think that it's still a work in progress, and hopefully, in a season or two's time, you will see a much improved VAR. I hope so. Anyway, otherwise, what are we doing?
Well, I rather have it than not have it, because it kind of it kind of avoids all this, match fixing thing where, if a ref is involved with match fixing, he's not going to raise his flag if it's clearly offside, and it kind of rules that out a bit. And it's kind of like, with the goal line technology back in the Euros in I think 2008 or was it 12, there was a sort of incident where the ball crossed the line but they didn't call it. I'd rather avoid all those. Oh well, it could have been this, it could have been that, but VAR is only there to improve. I think it's
absolutely
over time.
It's a great point you make, Manny, with the match fixing thing. As you said, if you've got independent people there that are making the decisions there and then, it becomes that more difficult for anyone with that inclination. I don't think this is happening in the Premier League, but there's sure as hell this is still happening in the sporting world or in the football world. In leagues that we don't really talk about here on the Pig and the Hen show, but sure as hell it's happening. So it's a great point you make. It just helps to just nullify that dirty, horrible part of the game. I think, Manny, you've made some brilliant
Manny, I just
points.
want to say, Manny, thank you so much for all the support on the channel recently as well. Like, you're a bloody legend, man. Like, thank you for sending that super chat over for myself and the Hen earlier. Yeah. Thank you for getting in here. I know you've been busy because you moved to Vancouver, didn't you? So you've had a bit of a busy settling in period.
He's too handsome. Don't let him back on. Can people see? Can people see his face?
People can't see him, no, because I've just put
it's
the
just
audio.
me and you, Pig. Oh, so what?
I know, really.
Well,
I tell you what,
then.
Manny. I tell you what, Manny. Call in next time. Call in next time. We'll put you on the screen. We'll put you on the camera so all the ladies can see you.
Manny, have you got a partner, Manny? Are you single?
I'm single. I'm single and ready to mingle.
Oh yeah, bloody hell, mate.
But the thing is, Mr. Pig, don't get carried away don't get carried away about all those donations I'm making, because I gotta pay for rent. I gotta get put on the table. So I'm just doing it as a good gesture because it's.
Well, no, I mean,
well, that means
at this
more.
moment in time, that means even more. Yeah, thank you.
Do you know what I mean? It's not even disposable income. It's like, well, I've got to pay for this, and then I've got a little bit here.
It's like I had $1 million and I'm giving you $2 out of my million. It actually means something. I'm just gonna tell you, Hen, that Tottenham got lucky today. Tottenham got lucky today that COVID was cancelled all the games, because they were in for a disaster today, especially with no strikers available. And
absolutely,
you're right, man. I think we were going to smash up Jose Spurs today. I was so looking forward to it. I think it's just everything was perfect for us to ruin them 5-0 or something.
So true. I can't disagree with you.
I'm an Olympiacos fan as well, so it's so good to see them in the Europa League as well, going deep. But it's this fortunate incident is going to kind of dim that down, and it's going to kind of suck, for.
Of course, I'm
an Ajax Athens fan, so
Well, there we go. Well, all I can say, Manny, brilliant phone call, video call for me and the Pig personally there. It's very nice to see a very handsome face. You stay safe. You look after yourself. We look forward to you calling in again, my friend.
All right. And I'll be on the show next time, like most likely the weekend, because it's a 7-hour difference from here to UK. So it's like I'm 7 hours back.
So, exactly.
Well, I think during this whole period, what me and Henry are going to try and do is, try and do as many shows, and maybe we'll probably do like a dedicated phone-in show once a week or something as well, just where it's just non-stop phone calls as well. But great to hear from you. Great to see you, Manny. That is a tremendous beard as well. Like, why can't I? I've got the look at mine and Hen's beards. Like,
you know, I mean, it's just scruffy bullshit. I know.
I know. Why did I get the 75% English genes? I should be growing the Spartan beard here. I'm gutted after seeing you, Manny.
Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about
Top
it.
Man.
As long as we're all healthy, I'm happy for all of us. You know,
That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Positive.
Yeah.
So true.
All right.
Good man. Well, thank you so much for your call, Manny. Great to finally put a face to the name, and stay safe out there. And thank you so much for watching and all the support. And please continue to tune in when you can.
Will do. I've been following since the Moist-tastic era, so I've been.
Oh crikey, long time ago. Yeah.
It's
lots of anguish has taken place.
It's a pleasure to watch all these shows. Yeah.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Stay safe, mate.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Manny. Have a great day, mate.
Yeah.
Cheers, buddy.
You too. Bye. Cheers.
Take care, mate.
Bye. I'll tell you what,
a legend, Manny.
It's almost more difficult to say bye when you can see someone's face, isn't it? I mean, especially a beautiful face like that. You know, I'm not homosexual, but he's a great looking bloke, isn't he?
He was a great looking bloke, and we were going to have to get him on there properly, you know. Rachel Manchester says, Hen found his man crush. I don't blame her. You should have seen Manny.
Rachel
we need to get Manny on it.
Rachel, you should see this guy. You know what I mean? You'd have a crush too.
Yeah, honestly, Manny, that's the one thing that's left us from this call. What a good-looking person Manny Souvlaki is. All right, forget the points. We're just going gay for Manny right now. But anyway, next time, honestly, we'll get Manny. Yeah, because I didn't want to just have constant echoes, and it does echo when we change it to a video. But next time, I think we should get Manny's video stream on here. To be fair, because the ladies would have something to look at.
well, anyone would. Do you know what I mean? Anyone would.
Hey, check this comment. I've got to read this one. Matty Rush says Hen's in love, but also iPoddy24 said, I would love if Hen was homosexual.
I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. I'm sorry. You know, I am so comfortable in my sexuality. I'm so happy to say if I find a man good looking or handsome. But that doesn't mean I'm attracted to them sexually. Okay?
No. I quite agree with that. Great stuff. Yeah, so if anybody wants to call in and speak to us quickly, the address to call into is pigandthehenshow@hotmail.com. Shout out to Busby. Shout out to Manny, of course, who got in here just now and has called in. We've got another sort of... Yeah, great calls. We've got another sort of 10 or 15 minutes or so we've got another time for a call or two if anybody does want to get in here and get on the line with the Pig and the Hen. So please do call in pigandthehenshow@hotmail.com on Skype if you guys want to chat for a little while. Ruddy Boy says it's a sausage fest over here. That's accurate. There's a couple of ladies in here though, to be fair, that do get involved. Like Rachel, she says, Manny, you made my day.
Well, there we go. I mean, we got Rachel and we got a few others there. You know, I mean, I've seen in the comments section from time to time. You know, I'll go back when I'm able to go back and look at the the video that we've put out, and I look through the comments on YouTube, and there's certainly a few ladies out there, and you know, it's brilliant. You know, like obviously I know there's so many ladies out there that love the football. But the fact that they also listen to a football show, it just goes to show that, you know, everybody loves this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Manny says, didn't know the Pig and the Hen show would become a dating show. Do you know what? I think that's it. He's single. You know, it's like, let's do an edition of The Bachelor. Do you know what I mean? Let's do an edition of The Bachelor right now. Ladies, line them up. We're gonna do a bunch of video blind date sort of setup here.
Absolutely. I think whilst we're waiting for our next phone call to come in, and I'm sure it will, what comments have we got coming through, Pig? Let's have a look at that.
So, Busby Legend says, who's the most handsome Premier League player? There you go. There's a topic of discussion.
Olivier Giroud.
Yeah, it's Olivier Giroud. He's a handsome bastard, isn't he? That was easy. No, there's got to be some others, though. No, there's got to be some others, mate. Let's have a little think about this.
Contention, you mean?
Who's in contention? Yeah.
Handsome people in the Premier League, excluding managers, just players, right?
Just players.
Because I tend to go for the older.
What's the matter with you? What is the matter with you, Ed? But no, fair enough. I don't know, actually. I don't know. A couple of comments here. Dan James and Juan Mata. I mean, Busby legend, Dan James. He looks like he's about 12, so...
Interesting. Well, I'll tell you what,
enough.
I've heard that Harry Winks is popular. I mean, Harry Winks looks like he could be in bloody One Direction. You know what I mean? He's got that sort of look, so he's just
Right.
a handsome young fella, right?
Okay. I don't know. It's an interesting topic, mate. I've never really given it much
Well, you're
thought.
not into Harry Winks. Not fit enough for you, Pete.
Oh, not fit enough for me, mate. Don't quite do it for me. Do you know what I mean? I need a little bit
Not
more.
your sort of thing.
I need a bit more sort of manly roughage than that. Do you know what I mean?
What about a bit of Bruno Fernandes that's just come into the team and dominated? Is that what you're into? A bit of showing a bit of the alpha male?
No, I don't know, Bruno. You know, I love
him.
him, but looks-wise, he doesn't do it for me either, Henry. You know, I don't know.
Does he not?
I don't know. I like a bit more of an alpha. I'm thinking maybe Virgil van Dijk or something. Do you know what I mean?
Really? A bit of Virgil.
Oh no, I don't know. Diogo Dallo says Busby, good shout. Yeah, decent shout. Lacazette, decent shout. Who else?
Can someone please call in right now, just so that we can get off this kind of very strange...
Andreas Pereira. Well, yeah,
who
Andreas
thinks
Pereira.
fit?
He's got to. Andreas Pereira. He's pretty fit, isn't he?
Can someone please phone in? Phone in now. You know what I mean? This is not a topic that I want to continue on.
Oh my days. Well, anyway, yeah, I think I don't know if we're gonna have any more calls come in. Hopefully they do. If you do want to call the show, please do contact pigandthehenshow@hotmail.com. What we will do is we'll make it a bit more clearer. We'll have a separate phone-in show with all the details in the description and on the screen as well. So that'll be a bit more rapid fire, I think. But anyway, if we don't get a call in the next couple of minutes, we will wrap this puppy up. But if you do want to speak to us before we go, get in there and get on the line, lads and lasses. Yeah, it's very wrong. Mark Sin says this is so wrong. It's pretty wrong. I mean, what about what about the bad boy vibe? Do you know what I mean? Do you not want a bad boy vibe like Allison? Do you know? Sorry, Edison, the neck tats and that bit of a bad boy.
Oh, so who's more badass? You mean?
No. I was saying so so for the people who like a bad boy, maybe Edison's the one.
Oh, if you're into that sort of thing, right? Got yeah. Right.
Pogba's a handsome.
Troy
a handsome
Deeney,
guy.
mate. Troy Deeney, mate. You know what I mean? If you want to get the job done, yeah, it's Troy Deeney, isn't it?
Troy Deeney. Allison, I tell you what, Liverpool's goalkeeper Allison, he's quite a bit of a handsome bastard, isn't he?
No. Sorry, I moved from handsome to someone that.
Oh, to badass.
Okay,
right.
if you need someone that could look after you, do you know what I mean? You know, you want someone to make you feel secure and safe, and go with Troy Deeney.
Troy Deeney, why?
Yeah, because he's just a badass, mate. He is, mate. You know what I mean? Get stuck in. You know, he would look after you if you were in need, if you were vulnerable. I'm telling you right now, Pig.
I tell you what, I'd go with Slabby Maguire before him, mate.
Nah, mate. No, Maguire would go. He'd be more concerned about his mum than he would be about you, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Legends, right? Okay, I think we're going to wrap this video up anyway because we're approaching the end of it. But shout out to everybody that's got involved. Shout out to Manny and Busby for calling in. Shout out to all the legends of the channel. Griffo Chaz, Manny Slufaki, Matty Lewis, Busby Legend, The Music Fiend, Griffo Chaz, Awais Chowdhury, Gungers, Illy United, Stephen Shorrock, Dan Tay, Rudd Boy, Stefan Harringtonio, Rachel Manchester, Stephen Zevon, Matty Rush, of course, and everybody else who's got in here. You know, thank you very much. I think we need to set up a proper phone-in show, Henry, because people get a little bit, we need to make it more clear.
We do.
That
I think people do like calling in, but yeah. I mean, it's our fault. It's our fault, Pig, because we just sort of just say, yeah, just phone in. Do you know what I mean? It needs to be prepared. People need to know it's
what
happening.
It's about. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's a bit much. It's a bit daunting, isn't it? Just phone up the Pig and the hen whilst they're talking about the Premier League players.
Respect to everybody that has phoned into the show up to this day.
Conversation, do I? Do you know what I mean?
it is daunting, speaking of randomers like that. To be fair, even if I was phoning up a show with 2 followers, I'd feel a little bit anxiety-ish about it. It's just the way it is. But yeah, everybody, thanks very much for tuning into the show today. Just a bonus Pig in the Hen show. We were supposed to do the Spurs versus United game where we would have smashed them up 5-0, but unfortunately we couldn't do that. The Premier League is still on hiatus at the moment, or suspension at the moment. We'll find out more details, hopefully, after Tuesday when the Premier League's meeting has taken place, etc. I don't see us replaying or starting play anytime soon, even though we're just suspended until the 3rd of April. I think it'll be longer than that. But that's it. We're going to leave it there. Thank you so much to everybody who's been a part of this show today. All the legends. Mark Sin, the Cineman. Follow him on Twitter at Cineman, the legend, for doing the quiz. Manny Slouflaki. Great to hear from a fellow Greek legend and also handsome bastard. And just a fantastic phone call from him too. Thank you, Manny. Don't be a stranger. Please
it's crazy, isn't it? Just the fact that he was relatively handsome led on to us just talking for about 5 minutes about who else is handsome in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean?
It's so funny as well.
Pig? We're sick in the
It's
head.
so funny as well because, why is it socially acceptable to say that? Like, if somebody's handsome, like if Manny got on and he looked like a bloody human thumb just sat there, it's not like we'd be going, Manny, you're proper ugly, mate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, because he's handsome, because that's okay. We'll just treat him like an object of desire. That's fine.
Just to remind everybody, I'm 100% heterosexual. I have a wife, 2 children, and I love women. All right, simple as that. But
if you don't love women, there's nothing
in
wrong
my
with
sexuality that I'm more than comfortable to say when I see a handsome man, I'll say he's a handsome bastard. I'm more than happy to tell you that. Simple as that.
You're right. Manny says, "Damn, everybody is beautiful." You're spot on there, Manny. You're spot on. That's the sort of attitude we like over here. Do you know what I mean? We don't use the U word over here.
That's it. If he shaved off all that facial hair, he wouldn't be so handsome, would he?
Right, that's it. We'll leave it there. Thank you so much for tuning into today's Pig and the Hen show. Please do us a favour before you go. Smash a cheeky little like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. You can follow this podcast, the audio version of it, by searching the Pig and the Hen show or Flying Pig podcast on various platforms. There'll be a full-length Pig and the Hen show on Wednesday. There might be a cheeky little bonus show between now and then. I don't know. I'll be jumping on later on tonight, most likely. To do some sort of a FIFA video. Shout out to everybody who watched the FIFA stream last night as well. Bloody legends. I might do what most people want me to do and start a Manchester United career mode. So tune in for that. But anyway, thanks to Henry for joining me. Great show. Thanks to everybody who's got in here and made it what it is today. You're a bunch of bloody legends. Stay classy. Look after yourselves. Stay safe. And there will be stuff coming up on the channel. So keep a lookout for that.
Absolutely. Stick with us on the channel if you want to hear about football thoughts, football community, coronavirus, whatever's going on in the world. We're here for you, and we're not going to alienate anyone. So stay classy, stay tuned. We're here for you. Simple as that. That's my simple message right there.
Absolutely, and great message it is. Okay, you take care of yourself, lads and lasses. See you soon. Tune in for the next one. You've been watching the Pig and the Hen show. I've been the pig.
I've been the hen. Boop, boop.
And we'll see you for the next Pig and the Hen show. Take care of yourself. See you later.
Pig and the Hen. Pig and the Pig and the Hen. Pig and the Hen show. 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 Pig and the Hen show.
There we have it then, lads and lasses. That was it, the Pig and the Hen show. Thanks to Henry for joining me. Thanks for all the call-ins. Thanks to Mark Sin for doing the show. Thank you to all you legends for tuning in and watching. Please chuck a like on it, subscribe, all that good stuff. I just want to apologise to the people I've not added yet to this list, but you will be added to it. I'm talking about Ian Greenall, Bones Brigade 2020, Ellie Rouse, who else is there? RearGV, Morgan Freeperson, crikey, I've forgotten who else needs to be added to it, but there's a couple of others too. Thank you so much to everybody that supports this show and this channel. You're a bunch of heroes. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, honestly. Let's not get Let's not let all this shite drag us down. You know, we will get through this, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, hopefully there'll be some football on soon. But stay classy. Thank you so much for watching the show. If you could give it a share around social media as well, that'd be bloody amazing. But stay classy. This is the pig. He was the hen. You've been watching the pig then, and we'll see you on the next one. See you later.